Racing! He's gone!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sector 1. We are back here for round 4 at the Spa-Francorchamps. We will be having the Supercup boys coming out, Group A, and the Porsche Challenge boys for, next level Supercup and the Auto 1 Porsche Challenge. Joining me in the box tonight, I have Brent, aka Karen Unleashed. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm just dressed up in the Deeds racing outfit at the moment. Quite uncomfortable. I haven't been in this for quite a while. I think I packed a few pounds over Christmas and New Year's, but anyway, we're back in the saddle, back into the rhythm of Sector 1, back on the Sunday nights every week until I think about mid-April, but yeah, we're back. Let's get into it. Back in the playground.
Well, talking about putting some weight on over Christmas. Don't know how I'm going to fit in the race seat next weekend, so we'll see how that goes. But also joining us in the box tonight will be Adam. How are you, Adam?
Hello. I'm very good. They gave us some cushions in the box this week. It's a bit of a pleasant change. You never get that when I'm on stream duties. I don't know what's going on, but it's a good week. I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to see what we've got coming up. Spa, obviously a very famous track with loads of history. And we've seen some different sort of guys up the front of the field. I think Karen was saying before there was a lot of differences in pace across the challenge lobby, and we're seeing a bit more of the same in the Super Cup as well. So looking forward to an exciting night.
So we are watching Group A tonight. So it is the best that S1 has to offer on both their Super Cup and the challenge level. Pretty much the championship at the top of the table is tight. I think we have had a pull out in one of the Deeds drivers in Morgan, or is he still trying to go ahead there, Brent?
Unfortunately, no. He is going to be out of this event. Over the holidays, he's been camping on the beach or something like that, and a week of walking along the beach with your partner and enjoying life, it's just come at a cost at a really, really bad time. Cut a few laps today, and unfortunately, I'll just had to... pull up for today, and yeah, he'll be back fighting fit, ready to go. But there are still plenty of other contenders in the grid as well. We've got, of course, you can't rule out the 6-time champ, the Cyborg Brocky. He's going to be fit and ready to go. You've got the likes of Corgi in the Super Cup as well. You've got Kiwi Raikkonen, and of course the 2-time TX3 GTR. He's just motivated to win another title. You can't really rule out the rest of the grid on any given moment.
No, it's definitely going to be one to watch for the remainder of the season as well, because all the tracks we're going through this season are pretty good tracks, and it's going to be a big run to the end, I reckon.
Yeah, and we've got the big one of the big favourites of Sector 1 next round, but that is then. This is now. We've got Spa ready to go, and I think it's time to send these challenge boys on their merry way.
Well, we are ready when you are, so we'll be talking to you shortly, Adam. We'll get qualifying underway.
Thanks, mate. Looking forward to it.
So with GT7 approaching as well, and the real-life works at Spa-Francorchamps, we've been able to fortunately get around those for tonight as well. They've ripped up quite a few of the stands, doing some work on Blanchimont and La Source, but we've got these 14 beautiful drivers fighting it out tonight against those roadworks. So we've got quite a few guys out in the field, for some reason excluding myself, but yeah, we're ready to fight for the second half of this Porsche GT3 challenge.
Alright, as we can see, we've got some of the drivers exiting the pits. Looks like Mr. Bumcrack's holding the number 1 position at the moment, but we will wait till they get around the track a little bit, or we might try and find out actually who's out in front.
speaking of Bumcrack though, he was the quickest in practice at the moment. He's been setting the times alight, which is good news for your mob here at Ragged Edge Racing. One of the teams really fighting it out for the combined teams championship, along with Lucky's Lawn Care, racing cars like Legends, and of course my own squad at Dean's Racing, all four vying for that title, and Blacklight as well. Can't rule those guys out. It's tight at the top, and Bumcrack's come to play tonight.
Can't quite see who's out in front.
On my screen, it looks like the guy who's at the back of the field at the moment is on top, which is the King Oscar, but we'll let that refresh on the first sector. There we go. There we go.
All right, so just quickly, we'll run through the field while we're on them. Honourably airborne for Lightning Motorsport this week. Not this week, this season. Showing some great pace.
They've got a new lick of paint as well. A little bit more black on the car this time around for the rest of the season. They had a lot more green, and green has been replaced with black. So looks like they're following the Rolling Stones with that one.
Second, we have Mr. Bumcrack. He's in the Auto 1 Porsche for Ragged Edge Racing, one of my team members. Third, we have Wakey, one of the new rookies this season. So, and he's definitely come out guns a-blazing. So he is driving for Death Grip Racing on the Revolution race gear Porsche. Fourth, we have Jim Bob. He's got his own team. He's CJ Esports, and it'll be the D'Angelo Constructions, I believe. Fifth, we have Carbon Boy for Obsession Motorsport. He'll be driving in the Tamar Cars entry. Sixth, we have Gurr 17, who's just pulled straight into the pit, so they're changing their tyres as we go.
So we're seeing the guys who are starting on the medium tyre pitting early. The trick with this though is because these are quite long laps, 2 minutes, roughly about 2 minutes 17 we're looking at for a lap. They're not going to have much time to put in a fast flyer, so they're going to have to make it or break it.
We'll just stick with Gurr until he comes out of the pits, because everyone seems to have pitted, and then we can go through the remainder of the fields, only a couple more.
So I'm just keeping an eye on your Ragged Edge boys, of course. The first sector is a 39.6 from Bumcrack, who's in a league of his own in terms of air. No one around him for miles, and it looks like the Bad Dog's just approaching the second sector right now.
All right, so 11th. We have Grassies, who is for Autobahn entry for Lucky's Lawn Care. Whoop, wrong button. 12th, we have the Good Doctor. And he owns this team. It's Blacklight Motorsport, and it will be the TMR Systems entry. 13th, we have Evo 9. Second of the Lightning Motorsport entries for the Merlin Garage Doors, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
And VF for the Aussie Hampton team.
So just keeping us eye on the timesheets at the moment, and Bumcrack is definitely up. Fastest in the first 2 sectors at the moment.
He's just crashed.
Yeah, he's had a big moment. He's well and truly up on the field as well. Looking at the sector splits, he's at least 0.3 of a second up. But that being said, Bad Doctor has now set the fastest second sector, so he was just a 10th quicker than Bumcrack.
All right, we'll see how he goes as he's coming up towards the back end of the track, down towards the chicane.
Oh, this is going to be tight for quali today. We've still got so many fantastic drivers out there at the moment. Don't rule out GTP Greatness, who's right on the back of Daz for qualifying. This may just hold GTP up. Of course, he won the Group B race at our last round in the CP Motorsports entry. Bad Dog sets a 2:18.2 for the first flyer.
Oh, we got more in the pits.
Yep.
King Oscar, honourably airborne, will be the first one to go through.
And King Oscar to the top with a 2:17.8. He set the fastest second sector by 0.3 over Bad Doc and Bumcrack, who set very quick sectors in their own right. That's a surprise for the record books at the moment. The King Oscar on top. Wouldn't have picked that. He's been driving roll for Team 53 though. lap at the moment.
I think just about everyone pulled in then.
Of course, these tyres here with this abrasive surface the Spa is renowned for. This track is tough, these corners are tight, and these tyres can only take so much pounding around here.
It's a big slipstream track as well, isn't it?
Yeah, especially down the Kemmel Straight. You're going to see at the start of the race, a lot of these guys bunch up towards the top of Eau Rouge and Radillon, and then on the Kemmel Straight, you are going to see moves. There is a very, very long straight indeed, and most of these guys will make up a move going to Lacombe and the Malmedy section as well. Another big move is just after Blanchimont, heading towards the famous bus stop as well. Requires a lot of braking, this track, a lot of modulation, a lot of great throttle to control to get the absolute most out of this classic 7.1 kilometre circuit.
Well, we've just seen King Oscar, he's run wide, Darkside goes past.
Yeah, and Airborne just gone past as well. Airborne just went past him as well, and can't rule Airborne out. He was quick in the practice sessions. He's really the person that's been taking it to the favourite at the moment, which is Bumcrack. And also can't rule out Daz as well, who's just decided to just sit back and let all the fireworks happen, and then pounced when everyone's made the little critical mistakes. As young Wakey is currently on an absolute flyer.
Well, we've got Darkside just coming up to the finish line now, but we'll keep an eye on Wakey. See if we can grab him, see where he goes. Look, Darkside's gone into the pits. Bad doctor.
Ooh, that's brave. He might not get enough time to make another lap.
We'll see how Airborne's going, Ashley, because he was going pretty quick.
Yeah,
Oscar.
The only worry is the pit transition here. It is quite a long pit transition as Jim Bob's gone.
Airborne
wow, and Airborne
to
to the top. Oh no, so Jim Bob
Wakey to the top.
2:16.9. What a time. And grew up to P4 as well for Bacchus Brewing and Dadson Racing as well. Grassy's to P3.
Good doctor with a 2:19. Puts himself into 8th.
He wasn't confident with tonight's event. He just said, when I asked him how he felt about tonight, he just said one word, meh.
So Wakey showing some early pace in the Revolution race gear car for Death Grip Racing. He does have Mr. Bumcrack following him slightly, so if Mr. Bumcrack can catch up that little bit, he will get a little bit of a tow, but I think Wakey's got him covered right now.
Yeah, and he's down on the first sector as well as Bumcrack. This is interesting. It's going to have to be all about that second sector. He can lose so much time through the corners, especially through Poupon, where it's very easy to unsteer and go wide.
Evil, one of the Lightning Motorsport entries, definitely up the front end. There's only a second splitting the top 5. It doesn't sound like, it sounds like a little bit, but nothing too exuberous.
I'll tell you what though, young Wakey on the top at the moment, that's a turn up for the books. Looks very, very comfortable behind the Death Grip car, and they will be cheering him on immensely as well, of course. Death Grip have had a little bit of a resurgence the last few rounds with, of course, Goat doing a very successful job in Group A. Wakey just starting to follow his lead, getting to his groove into Sector 1. It hasn't been here too long. Also the youngest driver in Sector 1.
We'll just jump on Airborne as he's coming up to the second split. Yep, so Airborne's down. He's down 3 seconds just about.
Oh, he's wide.
Didn't quite catch what Wakey was on.
He's only down by 100th at the moment, so he's there or thereabouts with his fastest lap. But we will have to keep an eye on him. See if he can make up time in that final sector.
King Oscar still holding on to 4th.
Doing a great job at the moment.
Alright, we'll just jump back up the front. Honourably Airborne's pulled over. King Oscar, can he improve? He does, he goes to the top. Sorry, not King Oscar. Wakey, Mr. Bumcrack to the top now.
There it is. Bumcrack with a 2:16.8. Wakey also went just a bit quicker than 2/600ths of a second quicker. The times are starting to drop.
Carbon Boy makes his way up to 8th, followed by Darkside. So Darkside needs to put in a good lap. This is it. Oh, it might even be over.
Daz goes up to P6 with Grrr, just still behind him. Grrr is on a final lap as well, so he got across just as the finish line ticked over. But I don't know if those tyres are going to hold on.
Alright, so we'll jump back to King Oscar stays in 8th. Carbon Boy in 9th. Carbon Boy's got to stay out. He's on his best lap at the moment.
Bumcrack also got to go around again as well. So for them, Bumcrack doesn't need to go quicker. But in the terms of, I believe it was, just double checking myself because these Belgian cameras are not very good. Wakey. In terms of Wakey, those tyres may not hold, so he may not be able to get pole, but he's going to give it a red hot crack. We know what he's like.
So we've got three still on the out. I'm still able to get a lap down. I'm just trying to find them. They're kind of all over the place.
So we got Grrr on the lap. We got Carbon Boy who's just gone wide. He's gone to trim the verge. Those who know. Wakey and Bumcrack also on laps, but it looks like their tyres are starting to give out. Bumcrack had a lot of oversteer on the exit of Pujon there.
I've seen that, so did Gert. And I can almost guess that Carbon Boy will be on the stage. Gert's 200 up, he can take Daz here if he keeps this lead.
I'll tell you what a qualifying session this has been though for the books. It's been extremely tight. There's only a second between the top 8 at the moment.
I can see Mr. Bumcrack. I can't see, just quite see the driver in front. Death grip driver. So Mr. Bumcrack. No, he doesn't improve.
No, so the tyres went off at the wrong time then.
There you go. Gura takes 5th place off Evil and Daz, so he gains 2 spots.
Great job. Especially on worn out tyres. That is a phenomenal job by
Alright, so that's qualifying run and done.
So
Now time for the race.
I will have to set these guys on a red flag for what happened with Jim Bob, unfortunately. Unless he's starting at the back of the grid, which I can... No, so this will be a red flag, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, so that Jim Bob can participate. Seems like he had an ECU issue in his Porsche 911 GT3 RSR.
Well, we can watch the start until the red flag goes, at least, to give us something to look at.
Set out the red flag very quickly.
Alright. There we have it.
So, guys in chat, who do you think your top 3 will be for this one? And my top tip, will everybody get through lap 1 unscathed?
Oh, I reckon there's a few sections of this track that can catch people out. I mean, it's got to run wide onto that painted ripple strip sometimes. The car can be all over the place, so anything can happen lap 1, and everyone's going to be pushing their hardest, aren't they?
Yeah, that's correct, and especially down the Camel Straight, a lot of the guys up the front won't want to lose ground early on, although you can save fuel here. There's been some spectacular battles in the past. I do remember the battle between Corgi and TX3 GDR here. I believe it was when we visited during the GT3 days.
Yep.
So, yeah, phenomenal battle.
Alright, I'm just going to, excuse me for a second, I'm just trying to find that little bit of a track map you had.
No, you're right, you're right. I'm just working with this Belgian technology at the moment to get the grid all sorted and to sort out Jim Bob's issues with his ECU. And just looking at the chat, just having a look at the comments at the moment. Boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing from the other Tyrone at the moment. He's definitely keen. Clinty Go-Go, Jim Bob's still running dodgy ECUs. Looks like it, unfortunately.
I hate to say it, but he's been under scrutiny a few times for the dodgy ECUs.
So, might have got the rough end of the stick there in terms of hardware from Porsche.
Well, while we're waiting, we'll mention some of the people in chat anyway. So we've got Aaron in there, we've got Tyrone in the chat, we've got Jimmy in the chat, TX3's in the chat, Clint, as we've mentioned, in the chat, Josh's Mini Reef. Well, there we go, there's a new one. Welcome, Josh. Killer on the Loose is in the chat. The fan club's in the chat. Got a few tonight, so it's going to be a good race, I reckon. Both races are going to be a good race.
I'll tell you who won't be happy with his qualifying tonight, and with every reason. GTP Greatness, qualifying P13. That, for a guy that slayed the field in the last event, that is a big, that's a shock.
Yeah, a little bit hit and miss from GTP this season.
Yeah, he's been very, very consistent, very quick. We saw in the last race at Catalunya as well. He was very fast, but this event, I'm not sure what's happened there. Whether his CP have just run out of money in their budget, I don't know. But yeah, that's a phenomenal. He won't be happy. He won't be happy at all with that.
I think also Bad Doctor probably wanted to be a few more spots up.
Yeah, correct.
Happiest.
Bad Doc. He's very, very competitive, isn't he?
Yeah, he can be. I don't think he's had too much practice this week, but you know, it's a long race.
I think a lot of us haven't practiced that much, to be honest. Talking to a few of the Supercup drivers, they're the same. So I've got this grid all sorted, all ready to go. It looks like the CJ Esports guys have sorted out their ECU issues at the grid. I've just seen them close the bonnet on the beautiful D'Angelo Porsche. And I will press the button to get these guys set and ready to go. There we go, and that big red button with a tree around it, we'll press that one there, and that will get these guys all sorted.
Alright, here we go. It's race time. Oh! Mr. Doremus is in the chat. Welcome, Mr. Doremus.
Doremus! Welcome to the chat, buddy. Long time between drinks. Good to see you here.
Alright, let's see how we go tonight. Mr. Bumcrack's going to be stoked with the pole. But it's going to be it's going to be no easy feat. Jump on 5th. We'll get away cleanly. Bit of tyre smoke there from Honorably Airborne, but Mr. Bumcrack looks as though he's going to get first to the first corner. Nicely done. A little bit of touching there from the Death Grip driver, Bacchus driver, sorry.
Oh, no. 3 cars. Oh, there's been contact. Wakey's gone round. Oh, there's carnage in the back of the field. Did everyone get through unscathed? Yes, they did, but barely. GTP almost took him head on. But they've got through unscathed. And I'll tell you what, back up the front, Airborne and Bumcrack 1v1, and Airborne has the slipstream. Can he make it count, though? Heading up to Lecom. Is he going to have a look? No, he's not. Pulls out of it. Brewer in 3rd, Grassy's P4. The Good Doctor's up to P5. What a start. And then carnage towards the back from GTP Greatness onwards. Look at the field. Oh, my. Welcome back to Sector 1, ladies and gentlemen. The entertainment's on the house.
So it's looking a little split out, the top 5 or 6. GTP's start of the second pack. Good Doctor with a great start.
Yeah, there was a bit of a slow start there for Daz, unfortunately, who went all the way down to P14 and checked a few drivers up, coupled with the spin from young Wakey there, who has recovered to P9, and that's seen GTP and Good Doc really take advantage. Also, starting from last on the grid, Jim Bob, who is now up to P8, so he's gained 6 spots at the start of this race. It's only been half a lap. What a start to this race we've had, guys.
I'll tell you what, buddy, his feet will be sweating right about now because he's got one of the fastest drivers behind him, and also the Bad Doctor.
Oh yeah, and the Bad Doctor after that qualifying will not be happy at all. He'll be looking to make ground early on. Started on the soft tyre. There's a few that started. Oh, Jim Bob's wide! Hold on, Jim Bob. Oh, he's Teamer in the wall.
We don't even need to replay that one. We watched the whole thing.
Unfortunately, Jim Bob, after that fantastic start, I've put the Moz on him.
Commentator's curse. Mr. Bumcrack holding a nice little lead, coming up to the closure of the first lap.
0.6 of a second up on Airborne at the moment. Great start. He started on the soft tyre though. Airborne has started on the mediums. Just going through the field now. So we've got Bumcrack and Bad Doctor who have started on the softs along with King Oscar. Everybody else has started on the medium tyre. So 3 runners starting on the softs, an interesting decision. Bumcrack will want to be just pushing to get that ground early on to make sure he can really capitalise on a strong lead and then bring it home. Bad Doc will be wanting to use the soft tire to get himself up the field a bit more, along with the King Oscar, who's trying to have a look at up Carbo Boy, up Eau Rouge, up the top of Radion.
So I'm a bit out of sync with you right now, so we're looking down at probably 12th and 13th.
Yep, just keeping an eye, and looks like GTP and Young Wakey have just passed the Good Doctor there. So after that great start, Good Doc's just behind a tiny bit, but he can keep with these guys.
So GTP Greatness is making some good moves. He had a bit of a fumbled start.
Yeah, he really copped the bad end of the stick when it came to that entire first part of the lap. He had to avoid Daz stalling on the grid as well, and then the spin from Wakey, he nearly got T-boned by that. There's a couple of little battle scars on that FGT Elite CP Motorsports car as he goes, oh, very, very wide there through left fang. Hey, well, Good Doc's
does have Good Doctor and the Bad Doctor right behind him.
Good Doctor and Bad Doctor paired together. Does that make it the neutral doctors? Just throwing out the dad jokes early. Welcome back, everybody, to Sector 1 Sim Racing.
That could be the Flying Doctors.
Well, they're definitely flying because they've definitely made up some ground on the grid.
Alright, so Bumcrack still up the front. He's just extending his lead out. 1.7 seconds, 1.8 seconds. It's still growing. Honourably Airborne in second.
He's just set a 2:17.4 for the fastest lap of the race as Bumcrack, so he's doing a great job. He's also managing that car very well in terms of fuel usage. He's got a little bit more fuel already than Airborne. Airborne back to has made a 3.7 second advantage. Grassy's is slowly starting to catch up though.
Who have we got running the softs? So that's Bumcrack.
Bumcrack, the Bad Doctor, and the King Oscar.
There you go, one more. So, Wakey in 5th. Right behind Grassy. So Grassy's one we haven't really mentioned tonight, coming out of the box. He's got some speed on him tonight too.
So the Bad Doctor dropped down to 9th, but because of the corner of Eau Rouge and Radion, Evil Evo and the Bad Doctor copped penalties, had to burn him on the Kemmel Straight, and Good Doctor is now up to P7 again.
I don't think it'll go back that far. They've already got the penalty there.
Tell you what, Daz will not be happy being in P10 right now with that start in the Gamesman Deeds Racing entry. He won't be happy at all about that. Just completely bogged down on him. Not sure exactly how or what happened there for him at the start, whether the clutch let go or it just slipped or just, I don't know if there was a penalty at the start of the line, but yeah, he will not be happy. He's dropped from 6th to 10th off the start and just doesn't seem to be making any ground at the moment.
Some tracks suit some people more than others, and this is one of the tracks that it could be one of them that you just can't get a handle on.
Yeah, and I'm just keeping an eye on Young Wakey as well. He's had that spin at the start of the race and he's already back up to P5. He's showing great pace at the moment.
Tell you what,
just holds on.
Pretty wide there.
That was close. These cars do suffer from understeer here at Spa-Francorchamps. They don't like the corner exits, and it's very, very easy to go wide on quite a lot of high-speed corners here, especially through Poupon and Blanchimont. The front just doesn't want to bite as well, and as a result, if you carry too much speed, you're going to destroy those front tyres, which is very easy to do on a very abrasive surface like Spa.
Now, I did have a little bit of a go on the controller before we went live, and they're very taily too if you get on the gas too quick.
Yeah, that's correct. There's 509 horsepower, 1,250 kilos on these cars, and they're not very easy to drive at all. A lot of people say that the Porsches are very, very well balanced, but the RSR is an absolute animal to drive. It just does not like gripping on the high-speed corners with the front, and on the rear, on corner exit, it's very, very easy to get this car sideways.
Well, we're just in with Evil and Bad Doctor. It looks as though they've cleared Daz and the Good Doctor, so
yeah, and I think
quite quick.
I think the good doctor's had another moment as well because he's dropped down to P10. He's got the King Oscar all over him, and Daz has gone past now too. So whether there was something at the first turn or the bus stop, Daz has started to make a little bit of inroads. Good Doc just seems to be drawing back a bit. Not very confident here, but he is giving it an absolute belter of a time here.
Just go back a little bit further to 11th. King Oscar. Just giving the good doctor a bit of a run for his money. Back in 12th, we've got Carbon Boy. Bit of a lonely race tonight. He's normally one that's sticking it to the front boys, and he's struggling a little bit.
Daz has had a big moment just on the exit, just on the way into Puhon. He's just had a big tight sideways moment, tried to grab it and just would not hold. Won't be happy with this race so far.
Oh, I think got it wrong. I missed it all.
Yeah, basically just completely understeered coming out of Bruxelles there, and unfortunately the rear just decided to swing the hips like Shakira and just did not want a bar of it.
So Jim Bolt down in 13th, he's not having the race he was looking forward to, and VF in 14th. So VF really struggling tonight. He's one of the faster ones when he wants to be.
Yeah, and I dare say he's had another moment because he was actually 5 seconds ahead of Jim Bob, and he's now 6.4 behind. So I don't know what's happened, but yeah, he just seems to be really struggling here at Spa. It is a very difficult circuit, not for everybody. Of course, it is a tough track.
All right, back up the front. The plumber's cleared out 3 seconds worth at the moment, followed by honourably airborne. So honourably's wearing the mediums, so he's doing really good to only be 3 seconds off. So it's going to have to be a big stint from Mr. Bumtrack to try and get out on the mediums and keep the pace that honourably is.
Yeah, I agree, and the big thing about that is it is the crossover period of the tyre. The softs are starting to suffer a little bit, and as a result, the mediums are starting to come into play. Bumcrack's slight fuel advantage may help his cause, as Airborne is just a little bit worse off, and then the battle for third will definitely heat up, because looking at the fuel and tyre situation, I can tell you right now, Grassy's is on a substantial fuel save compared to and Wakey. GTP's also closing in P6. He's used a little bit of a car to get there on the mediums, but he's definitely closing in on these guys.
Well, you can just see the gap now getting really close between Grassy's and Wakey. Looks like Wakey's getting a little bit impatient.
A little bit of a moment there in terms of connection here at Spa-Francorchamps, just in the Ardennes of Belgium.
And you can see
Grassy's on the outside. Oh.
The gap to GTP is closing as well, and then he's got Bad Doctor behind him. So it's all about to come to a head come mid-race.
Yeah, and Bad Doctor on the soft tyre as well, so he might start to suffer a little bit. He's definitely closing in on these guys. He's setting his fastest lap at the moment as the Bad Doctor, but the gap to GTP is definitely closing up. Wakey has gotten past Grassy's, and they've just lost a little bit out to Grr, so just going to see how that all comes back to them in the second half of the race at the moment.
Well, Grassy's just run wide. I hope he doesn't pick up a penalty.
Oh, he's off!
And he's got a penalty as well.
Oh, double whammy! But as he comes on, it'll just burn it for him because he's only doing 2 k's an hour. That's, of course, trying to address on this track is difficult, especially at the bus stop. So, with Gran Turismo, it is easy to burn penalties in a corner situation. It cannot be helped, unfortunately, with a redress like that due to Spa's bus stop corner, as Grassy's has gone off again. Saves it though, but he has lost a lot of time to the top 7.
Well, his tyres are definitely wearing out now. He's probably best off to just slow the car down a little bit, which may even equal faster lap times.
Tell you what, there's a fight for 6th at the moment. The Bad Doctor and Evil Evo. The Bad Doctor had a massive run going up Eau Rouge. And he's gone the outside. Oh, he's up to Lacombe. Is he going to do it around the outside? He does. Great move.
Well, we can jump on with Evil here. See what it looks like from his bonnet.
Tell you what, those softs are still holding on for the Bad Doctor. They look second hand on the telemetry here, but he's definitely holding on to them. There's definitely life in those tyres yet for him.
Yeah, just a little bit better corner entry, I think the softs are giving him right now. They're probably about to wear right out, but still holding on pretty well, as you said.
Yeah, and I thought with the abrasive surface, he might really be one of those ones that suffers. He does drive the car hard, he does drive it fast, he loves to contest for the position. But it looks like he's really sort of looked after that tyre. The telemetry is saying the left is a little bit how you're going, but overall he looks like he's got great control of that car. As Evil Evo just a little bit understeery. Just heading through the campus there.
Evil just running on that green paint. He just can't turn the car in. He just wants to keep driving out. Gives him a little bit of breathing space to Bad Doctor.
Tell you what, there's a battle brewing for the end of the top 10 with Carbon Boy, the King Oscar, and the Good Doctor. The Good Doctor is in P9, Carbon Boy P10. He's just been sitting very nicely there looking after the tyres. King Oscar on the soft, still in P11, Daz in P12 closing in.
Could be dangerous here. You a few metres past your braking point.
Oh,
there's
been contact.
As we're seeing.
Oh, Carbon Boy. Contact between the Good Doctor and Carbon Boy for the move there. And the Good Doctor's actually gone off. Oh no. It's all unravelled at the bus stop.
See if we can catch it. See what happened after the bus stop. I don't think you get to see that camera angle.
So Carbon Boy tried to make up the move up the inside of the bus stop, and the Good Doctor, yeah, just had switched over so he had the inside line, and yeah, there was just contact, and just got a bit messy from there when the King Oscar said, hello, how are you guys going? I'm going to capitalise on your position here, and 3 into the exit of the bus stop. Unfortunately doesn't work.
Jim Bob's still down in 13th. He's having one of the races he's probably going to want to forget. 14th is the issue as he goes through. Excuse me. On Rouge.
So just looking at the gap from Bumcrack to Airborne at the moment, it has expanded to 5.7 seconds. So looks like Bumcrack's just started to flex that little bit of muscle that we knew he had with this pace. In the practice sessions, it looks very, very quick. And waiting the pit stops to come.
Now, Bumcrack gets a big enough lead, it's game over. Once he gets on the mediums, he might have a little bit of, say, 10-15 minutes worth of honourably trying to catch up, but once them softs are gone, but it's kind of hard to tell as well, because these softs are holding on really well, and they're Bumcrack's on softs, so he's still pulling away.
I'll tell you what, speaking of catching up, young Wakey has caught up to the back of Grr. So this battle is on for the third step of the podium. Wakey's really put in a great performance, especially with what happened at the start of the race. He's caught right back up to P4. GTP's 2.8 seconds behind these guys at the moment, but it looks like young Wakey's got the pace out of these top 5.
So GTP was actually a little bit closer a few laps ago, so maybe his tyres are on edge and not giving him the grip he wants.
Yeah, agreed. So he did a 220.2 on lap 6. As he crosses the line now, he's just done a 220.7, whereas Evil Evo has done a 219.3, 220.1 for the Bad Doctor. So it seems like the mediums are really starting to take advantage of the lap time at the moment. This is the crossover period to see how these tyres are going to go. Of course, Bad Doc on the softs.
Well, you can see it's not going to be long before Evil and Bad Doctor catch him.
Oh, a little bit of squirrely on the exit of Eau Rouge there from the Bad Doctor, but he's got a big run up on Evil Evo now.
Well, they need to work together. I think they're both down the field. You start tossing and turning, you've got to just slow the lap times up, but it's looking like they're not going to have any of that.
Bad Doctor just showed the nose there. Classic Craig Lowndes technique. Tell you what, it's closing right up to GTP now, though. It was 2.1 seconds from GTP to Young Wakey. It's now 3 seconds. And the gap between GTP and Evil Evo has closed right in. Looks like the medium is really not working to GTP's advantage here. He's not liking the grip from the rear tyres. They are suffering quite a bit compared to the grip on Evil Evo's car. And Bad Doctor's actually got a little bit better rear grip than GTP at this stage, although his fronts look absolutely trashed.
See someone sitting in the pits. Don't know who that is. But here we go. GTP's about to get a whole car's worth of Evil.
Oh, Evil's going to have a big look here. They're coming up through up to campus from the Fang, and GTP's a little bit of a nudge there, but this is going to get dicey going up through Stavelot. Oh, Bad Doc just goes through on. Oh, what a move! But this is just really slowing these three guys up on the podium charge. GTP's just starting to struggle as Bumcrack pits. We've seen the good Doctor pit as well.
Now what I was talking about on Thursday night was the draft behind the car in front. This is where it's going to struggle with the soft tyre if it's already starting to lose grip. It's not going to want to turn, it's not going to want to exit.
Tell you what, Bad Doctor going around again on those softs. He's doing a fantastic job, but he's at one lap too many maybe. Is pitted as well, coming out of P3. So this may be the undercut.
I seen the fuel save there from Bumcrack and Gurr as well. Both pretty even.
Yep. I'll tell you what, King Oscar also had a great fuel save as well. He's actually done better than both of them. Over a third of the tank of fuel. And keeping in touch with the rest of these guys that haven't pitted yet, GTP's actually the one that has saved a phenomenal amount of fuel. He's just under half a tank as we approach lap 9, whereas Evil Evo's approaching a quarter of a tank, and the Bad Doctor is just on a third of a tank. Evil Evo goes up the inside. Oh, great move up the column, up to Malmedy.
I'll tell you what, Bad Doctor's going to have to make a move pretty quick too, because I reckon we're going to see Evil just pull away right now.
So what do you do if you're the Bad Doctor? Do you stay with these guys as GTP runs wide? That's the move the Bad Doctor needed.
Alright, so he's got to put his head down. We're just about touching the mid-race. I reckon we'll see the boys all pull in now. Mr. Bumcrack's already done his first pit. So is Gurr. Honourably airborne out the front. 9.7 second lead over Wakey in second. Yet to pit. Back to Evil, who's just pulled 1.1 seconds off the dark side, or Bad Doctor. He's got to make some moves. GTP struggling. He'll have to pit this lap. Grassy's down in 6th. A little bit lonesome there by himself. Daz in 7th. Everything's settled down for Daz now. He just needs to put in some consistent laps. A little bit of drama at the start of the race, but he's coming back through. Officially first will be Mr. Bumcrack once the field clears itself of pit stops, and he's in 8th place, 31 seconds behind the leader, which is Honourably Airborne. So once Honourably Airborne pits, we will see what gain or no gain has been made.
Tell you what, Bad Dog's got the fuel save sorted out of everyone that's pitted this time around, as well as GTP. Evil Evo, quarter of a tank of fuel as he pits, so he's going to be the one that suffers out here. He really needed to stretch, and someone looks like has gone on the bus stop there. Just trying to see who it is.
Carbon Boy's having a pretty good race. He's in 4th at the moment. Going for the long shot. I don't think he's pitted yet.
No, he hasn't. He's still got a third of a tank of fuel, and his mediums actually look very, very toasty right now, which is great news. The fronts especially look beautiful, so he's actually looked after that car quite nicely. Of course, he's got Jim Bob behind him, so Jim Bob is probably the one he's racing at the moment. It's just pitted, taken on 3/4 of a tank of fuel, as Bumcrack just in a world of his own at the moment. He's got 20 seconds to Wakey in front of him, and he's got 13 to Carbon Boy behind him, so he's just got absolute space to enjoy the scenery.
Darkside's coming under fire now from the GTP. They've both got ahead of Evil.
Yeah, Yeah, that fuel advantage really didn't work for Evil. He's lost out quite substantially, so he probably lost 2 seconds in that stop, taking on the fuel that he needed to get home. That being said, the Bad Doctor and GTP both have less fuel than Evo. They pitted with 2/3 of a tank, and Evo's got 3/4, so Evo can push a little bit harder.
Although it looks as though GTP might have a little edge here. He's just pulling away. We have to remember too that Bad Doctor's back on the mediums now, I guess too, so you're going to see GTP have some good fast laps straight up on the softs.
Airborne's pitting.
Alright, Airborne's in, so we have to see where Wakey will be pitting this lap too. There he goes into the pits. So now we need to see where Bumcrack comes out while Airborne exits the pits. A lot of fuel used by Airborne too.
Yeah, Wakey's got the fuel advantage here, so he might close up at quite a bit to Airborne here, which would make the battle for second very interesting indeed.
Alright, Bumcrack onto the main straight. Across the finish line. Ticks off another lap, 16 minutes to go.
Yeah, he should get past these guys comfortably. They haven't started moving yet.
Into a source.
There we go. So has Guru made up any time with the undercut is the big question here. He's just set his fastest lap of the race, a 2:18.3. And he's on the soft tyre compared to Airborne, who's just come out. Airborne also on the soft.
He's got ahead of Wakey.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Wakey's actually fallen back a bit to GTP. That's interesting.
Yeah, GTP's running really good lap times right now because his softs are warmed up. He's got the grip levels where he wants it. Just needs to get in behind Wakey here for the toe, and he's moving pretty quick by the look of it.
I'll tell you what, after that pit stop, he'll be saying thank gosh, because those mediums he didn't look very comfortable on. Just in the background with the Bad Doctor and Evil Evo fighting once again up Kemmel Straight. And Evo's gonna... Oh! That is aggressive defending by Evo, but it's compromised his entry into... I forgot what that corner is because there's so many corners here in Spa. Going through Malmedy now though. And up to Bruxelles. Jeez, that was aggressive defense from Evil Evo there.
Just looking at Grassies too, seems to be right there. I think he was more further up the grid, Grassies, so I don't know if he's had a bit of a problem. Overfueled maybe?
No, he's actually underfueled compared to these guys. He was a bit further back. He's got 1.1 seconds to catch to the Bad Doctor, and he's got 4.3 seconds over Daz at the moment.
Alright, so back up front, we now are past the halfway, 14 minutes left to run. Mr. Bumcrack has absolutely brained the field tonight. He's 11.8 seconds out in front.
Oh, big airborne moment from Wakey on the exit of campus there. And when I mean big, I mean all 4 wheels off the ground. GT Sport, thank you very much for coming. As GTP's going to have a massive look here going up to Blanchimont. That really, really didn't help him at all, the Wakey though. The bollards here are so aggressive as GTP goes up the inside before the bus stop, and Wakey's going to have a big look. Oh, no, thinks better of it.
GTP is on the move.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because these bollards here at Spa-Francorchamps and GT Sport, if you hit them, you're toast. And what ended up happening just on the exit of campus there, Wakey hit one of those bollards and it literally popped his car up Mario style, trying to hit those mushrooms on those bricks. So it's not his fault, unfortunately, that he lost his position out, but he's just going to have to grin bear it and focus in front.
So if you're Gurr right now sitting in the back of his car, you can see GTP greatness coming up the grid. You got to think to yourself, you don't want to wear your car out. Still 13 minutes to go. You just got to put in some consistent fast lap times. You aren't going to wear the car out, obviously, but just to keep smooth, not brake too late, but brake enough to keep your times down. And it's amazing. It's amazing just how much.
Wakey's just did another one of those bollards and it's just popped him up in the air as he's trying to make a move back on GTP. So yeah. It seems like he's got some spring in his step. But this battle could close between 4th and 7th. Actually 8th now, because Grassies is all over the rear of the Bad Doctor.
Oh, we just seen it. didn't know which corner it was. So we got Grassy's back in 8th position. So just Bad Doctor struggling a little bit maybe on the mediums.
Yeah, it just seems like he's just lost out a little bit. This is where the strategy will not help him, because the guys on the faster tyre for these next probably 5 to 7 minutes will be quicker. But if he can just hold his own, keep up with Evil Evo's lap times, he may be half a chance towards the end of the race.
Grassy's looks super clean here. Look, his car looks so much more poised than Bad Doctor's.
Yeah, there's going to be a move up here for sure. Bad Doctor covers aggressively. Fair. Grassy's going to have a look at the inside of Francorchamps. And no. It's going to be tight. Up the bus stop as Wakey has a big look in P5, but GTP gets up the inside. Gets the job done. Can GTP do the flick back? Crisscross, whatever you want to call it.
Trying to get there.
Oh, it's starting to turn into a big battle. It's starting to join together, and this may just help get away. As Evil Evo's now joined them as well.
Just looking up to Mr. Bumcrack there, I can see on the track map, he's still 13 seconds out in front, but the time's coming down slowly. So the time his mediums start to take in effect compared to the softs, he might be right for this one.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job on that soft stint. It was so critical for him to just get out in front, get clear air, and just set competitive lap times. And he hasn't just done competitive lap times, he's been phenomenally consistent. Evil Evo may have the fastest lap of the race with a 2:16.9, but the consistency has been all Bumcrack at the moment. His last 3 laps since he's been on these mediums, he hasn't been more than 2/10 out of his range.
Alright, so Pro is asking for the bottom 4. VF. We'll go back to King Oscar. We want the actual 4. King Oscar's not too far from Daz. He's 2.7 seconds away. VF down in 11th is 13 seconds behind King Oscar. So they're off the pace a fair bit. Down in 12th we got Jim Bob. 7 seconds behind VF. Jim Bob not where he wanted to be tonight. 13th we have Carbon Boy. He's 21 seconds behind Jim Bob, so it's a big track, it's a big gap too, so he's definitely not feeling it the way he wanted to in the Tamar's car for Obsession. And the Good Doctor. Such a good start to the race, but it has not gone his way.
Oh, sorry to intrude you on this one, Troy, but Wakey has had a massive moment on the exit of Stavelot. He was P5, he's dropped down to P8. Just understeered wide in that battle of 4, and he's completely out of it.
Oh, just run wide on the sandpit. Going to make some sandcastles, and it's taking him too long.
Yeah, someone smashed down that beautiful sandcastle he's tried to make.
Which puts Dark's Bad Doctor back up to 7th. So he's struggling a little bit. Grassies has got around him.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's not lost touch out of Evil Evo and this whole pack as a whole. Once these tyres start to come back, he could make up a couple more spots, but the question remains, will the softs hold on? We saw in the first stint that the softs held on a little bit longer than we thought. Oh, Grassy, he might cop a penalty through Ratty on there. This might give Bad Doctor a little bit of a helping hand, and there it is. There's the invoice, half a 10th.
That'll give Bad Doctor a sigh of relief. Evil up in 5th. They've been together all race this race tonight, Evil and Bad Doctor, so once their mediums come into effect, they're going to be back together again.
Tell you what, they've been joined at the hip like a set of old pluggers with super glue.
GTP just losing touch with Gurr.
I don't know, his last lap was a 2:18 flat, whereas Brewer's was a 2:18.7. It looks like he's just started to make up some ground, so we might have to keep an eye on this, because over the last 2 laps he's definitely made up over a second. Still 7 minutes left in this race, he still could catch up. Definitely look after those tyres though, but on fuel he's definitely behind Grr, as Airborne just a little bit of understeer.
Yeah, there's no time lost there between Airborne either. One mistake and Gurr will have second spot.
Tell you what, if Airborne does make that mistake though, oh boy, he will not be happy with that. And with Lightning being up there in the combined teams championship as well, this would bring a sigh of relief to quite a lot of the big squads up there fighting for that team's title, because Lightning, they may be the rookie team, but they're definitely punching some, throwing some haymakers.
Bump crack, it's down to 12 seconds now. We only have 6.5 minutes to go, so it's looking half alright.
Yeah, stick a fork in it, I reckon.
Evil, see how that battle's going. They look like they're separated just a little bit. And Grassy's just dropping off the back of Darkside. Keep getting mixed up and looking at Darkside on the screen, but it's bad, Doctor. And Wakey,
yeah, it's
hurting down in 8th now. He was right up there. Definitely
yeah,
got
and
some
he'll
pace.
be gutted. He'll be gutted with that, because he was as high as 4th, fighting for P3 at one stage. So he definitely will not be happy about that mistake. He had a 2-minute 26 when he made that mistake on lap 13 as well. So that's a 13-second turnaround.
Well, he's got 8 seconds back to Daz.
And Daz won't be happy with tonight. He's in no man's land at the moment. That start was just the start of everything unravelling for him, unfortunately. Really wanted to capitalise and have a big result tonight and try and get himself up towards that Drivers' Championship, but alas, he's just going to have to grin, bear it, come back next round at the Maggiore.
Yeah, it's one of these tracks that can make or break the series for you. But he's still in 9th place, so he'll still stay in Group A for the next round. King Oscar down in 10th. He's got a mile between the person in front and the person behind. Just having his Sunday drive now. He's got 5 minutes left to go. VF down in 11th. He'll be absolutely peed off tonight, because he would have expected to go a little bit further up the grid. Jim Bob, he won't be happy either.
No, he won't be, especially after what happened at La Source. He'll be pretty gutted about that result. He wasn't too confident coming into this one, but that definitely hasn't helped things. And that front of that Porsche 911 RSR, he's absolutely buggered.
Yeah, it's definitely got some paint that needs to go back on there. Carbon Boy, 13th.
He's had a big day, Carbon Boy. He contested in GT Champions as well. A few of the drivers from Sector 1, of course, that do compete in other championships around Gran Turismo Sport. And Carbon Boy, he's had a big day today. So to finish 13th in that absolutely gorgeous Tamar Cars Obsession Motorsports livery, he won't be happy with that, as Jim Bob's had another ECU. That's the ECU gone again for Jim Bob.
Good Doctor.
No.
Good Doctor down in 13th. This is going to be one he wouldn't want to remember. Started off up to 6th on the grid after the first lap, and he's just gone backwards from there.
Yeah, he's not going to be a happy chappy tonight. As same with Jim Bob, not much confidence, but yeah, he's not going to be too pleased with that.
But he was one of the call-ups for tonight too, so he wasn't probably expected to race tonight.
Tell you what, speaking of racing, Grassy's is all over the back of the bad Doctor, who has lost touch with Evil Evo, and GTP is with a second of Grr.
We'll jump back up to GTP. Yeah, he's pretty close.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to make a move in the next couple of laps. He's got 2.5 minutes, so I reckon they'll get 2 more laps in. It'll be very tight.
So those tyres are starting to struggle, because Honourably Airborne has been able to pull away about 2 seconds.
Yeah, Bumcrack did a 2:19.5 last lap, and Airborne did a 2:18 flat, and I mean flat as a ruler flat.
I was just looking at the gaps up first and second. It's down to 9.7 now. We've probably got... Oh, we'll get 2 laps in, I reckon, if they can keep the times up. But
I don't know.
not
I think
gonna have
Bumcrack.
enough.
No, I think Bumcrack might get a look at me lap here.
Yeah, it's definitely on the cards because he's crossed the line with about 4 seconds to go. About a 2:17 lap, so he had 4 seconds spare. So it'll be a look at me lap will be on the cards.
Yep, so everybody from Airborne down, this is their final lap. If Greatness is going to have a crack at this podium, he's going to need to get it done now. He's got 0.6 of a second. Entering Eau Rouge, up ready on. He's within slipstream range, definitely going up the Camel Straight, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you can see that time coming down really quick. He'll have him by the end of the straight here.
I'll tell you what, I think GTP is going to definitely try and show some greatness here. Oh, he's definitely showing the nose.
Straight up the inside.
Oh, but it's going to compromise his entry into, look. Oh, and then he's going to hold on, no. Oh, yes, car control. Oh, he's sideways again, Morgan Davey-esque. The battle is on for the final spot.
He put it there, he showed the door.
He's on the fuel light though as well, and he is compromised compared to Gurr, so this is all or nothing. This is win it or bid it for GTP. Can he get on the podium? Tell you what, either of them make a mistake. Evil Evo is definitely there, and I wouldn't rule out the Bad Doctor as well.
Sorry, I just think too close up the front, but it's Bad Doctor with Bumcrack coming up behind. We'll go back to GTP. It's getting pretty close to the finish. Oh, GTP runs wide. He will definitely collect the... Well, he might collect... He might get away with the penalty. Oh, he's got it.
No, there's the end, boys. It's done.
So that's going to bring Evil pretty close.
Oh, back up the front. I know I'm going to let you take the mic for this one because he's your driver.
He could probably slow it right down and not get a look at me lap if he wanted to, but I think he's going to get one just all by his own.
And he does with literally no time across. So it looks like Airborne will cross in P2. A great drive from the Lightning Motorsports driver. Will hold on to P3. GTP, will he cross the line? Oh, that's not going to help him. Oh, he gets across in P4, but Evil Evo 5th. Bad Dog P6, Grassy's P7th. Wakey will take 8th. Daz, a night to forget, will take P9. The King Oscar coming up to the bus stop now in that beautiful complete angle Bentley Team 53 machine. Tell you what, that is a beautiful, beautiful looking car, and it might be what the Premier Hire cars look like for next season in the V8 Supercars. Comes over in the 10th. VF in 11th. Carbon Boy just picking it back up. And Good Doctor finishing at P13. Jim Bob, of course, with another ECU drama.
Good Doctor's already done. He's through the field already. He went to lap before.
But I tell you what, back up the front, and well, there's no two ways about this. As much as I hate to say it, because I am one of the competitors for the team's title at Deeds and with other teams as well, Bumcrack has brained them tonight. He's just been in a class of one, set the tone early with his soft tyre stint, and hold that position. Looked after the tyres in the second stint with the mediums, and he is just on fire at the moment. This isn't just a win, this is a statement for the GT3 Challenge Championship.
Well, when you get your own lap out on the look at me lap, he's done pretty well.
Nice little cool down lap as well. Just cool the brakes off in that Auto 1 Garage 7 Porsche 911 RSR for your mob, Troy. Ragged Edge Racing.
Yep, bringing in the big points for us tonight for the combined N Teams Championship.
They want that team's title back from Lucky's Lawn Care. They're going to do it the right way. Bumcrack will take the win in a beautiful drive. Bumcrack wins at Spa.
Well done.
What a
Bumcrack.
mate, let it out. Your driver won tonight in an absolute blitz. What a race.
He definitely showed he's got the pace. He's honourably airborne was there as well. Not the fact of Bumcrack getting away. It's just they all had really good races. I think the people that kind of lagged down the back maybe just not the track for them. The effort put
What a
in.
drive.
The effort put in during the week too goes a long way. But
What a drive.
What we're going to do is quickly run through the race results because it helps out stewarding as well as everyone that's just joining in can see. So as you can see, Mr. Brumcrack takes the honours with his own victory lap. Honourably airborne second. Gurr 17 will take third. GTP Graydon is fourth. Evil Evo 9 will be fifth. Darkside, aka Bad Doctor, sixth. Grassy 7th. Wakey 8th, who just a bit of a mistake there in the closing laps of the race and dropped a few spots. Daz in 9th. King Oscar in 10th. VF for 11th, Carbon Boy for 12th, and the Good Doctor for 13th. We also had Jimmy drop out near the end of the race, who is not going to be happy about that because it's although he may have got past the 75%, so he still may get some points, but we'll take a look at that, with Evil taking the fastest lap on lap 12 with a 2:16.9.
Woo! What a race, guys. We've just looking at the chat at the moment, which has been firing beautifully tonight. Congratulations to Bumcrack from Tyrone, who also said wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So that's in regards to the Wiggles winning Triple J's Hottest 100. I had to put that in there tonight. Pruski, driver of the day. Grrr! Bad Doctor has said horrible track. Like we said earlier, some tracks do suit drivers, some don't. It just all depends on the flow of your... the flow on how you're feeling. And Plumcrack and Grrr, driver of the day from Killer. Plumcrack, driver of the day from
Plumcrack.
Mike. Oh, Plumcrack brained him, so...
Plumcrack, giving himself his own driver of the day. Alright, so we're heading over now. Thanks very much for the awesome commentary tonight, Brent. We will catch you back later if you're still in there, but we're heading over to the Supercup.
Yep. I'm just going to chuck my suit on real quick if I can actually get on the track. I'm currently locked at the door at the moment, so...
Right, someone has to get out. But yes, also big thanks for Brent jumping into RD tonight. He's jumping in the Supercup race as well, so... Could be a bit daunting. Can be a bit daunting.
Alright, I'll get out of the seat, guys, and in my place we'll let Adam step in. Good luck to everybody else tonight as well.
Welcoming back into the box, Adam, if you're there.
Yeah, mate, I am. It's good to be here.
So the Porsche Challenge boys had a really good race. Bumcrack flew away with it.
Yeah, I had my eye on the race. It looked like really fascinating. A lot of skill gaps up and down the field. Like we say, the guys really working it, and some guys liking the track and some guys not. So, you know, so it sounds like Brent can't get in. I've got a full lobby here. I'm trying to figure out who's not supposed to be here.
I'm locked at the door. I can't get in.
So I've got currently entered. I have Old Wakey, Captain Muffin, GDR, DJ Brain, Diego, Kiwi Raikkonen, Stickers, Artie Thump, Lucky, Speedy, Brocky, Corey, and Corgi.
Alright, so I'll tell you.
And Ricky Bobby is not entered. I presume that he may be the one that's not supposed to be here.
Ricky Bobby's meant to be there.
He is?
Yep.
Alright.
Who we got? My calculations are correct. It could be Corey Hack unless he is a call-up.
I don't think he's a call-up. I don't know where he was at the last round where he finished.
Because someone would have been a call-up for Morgan Davies.
That would be Brent, wouldn't it?
Let me have a quick look. He's not on Trello anyway.
Oh, isn't he? Okay. Was he entered for the race?
You got me.
That's probably the thing we want to be checking, I think. Apologies to the Sector 1 fandom out there. We will get this done though. Get this sorted.
Alright, who we got?
We might need a role from one of the admin in our race director chat perhaps, just to confirm who we do need and who we don't.
Alright, Wakey was called up, so Wakey's meant to be there. Oh, so everything's leading me to Corey Hack.
Womble and chat, Corey is racing tonight.
Corey is racing tonight, there you go. Okay. So I have on Trello, NLR Supercup Group A is TX3, Corgi, Rocky, Raikkonen, Diego, Speedy Tyres, Captain Muffin, Stickers, Luck Goes My Way, Brent, DJ Brain, Ricky Bobby, Hardy Thump, and Old Wakey. So I'm not sure.
Did you say Corey?
No, Corey's not on this one.
Right, I'm going to have to assume then that he's the one that we're not supposed to have. So, shall I get rid of him and get Brent in?
Well, I would think so, but
I just don't want to jump the gun on
no.
these things. It could be a massive fallout if something goes wrong. That's all. Have you got the points there by any chance? The season championship points?
No, but I can get them.
That might help us in confirming. So you say Old Wakey was a call-up in the place of whom? Do you know?
That would have been CJ Esports driver. Oh, right. So Artie Thump's not supposed to be here because I'm pretty sure they said. Oh no, Artie will be racing Sunday night. Got that wrong. Sorry. I'm just trying to go through all the little bits of stuff that we got going on. Aussie Hampton.
This must be one of the first times we've had an issue like this in Sector 1 history. I don't think we've ever had, like,
Right.
we've always had people asking which group they're in coming up to a round, but it's very rare that we get to the point where the race is about to kick off and someone's trying to get in and they can't.
Let me get to these points. So, championship results. Season 5. Porsche Supercup. Alright, so going off points tonight, we have TX3, Corgi, Morgan Davies. So Morgan Davies was out, which would bring up Stickers. Dean Allen, Kiwi Raikkonen, Diego, Speedy Tyres, D-Flow. So D-Flow's not in, so it would have brought in Old Wakey. I'm still thinking it's Corey Hack's not meant to be racing.
Is he down in Group B on points, is he?
He was, yeah.
Just confirm in the Discord, make sure that we haven't sent a message. Alright, yep, that's correct. We're going to have to confirm that is... So it is Corey Hack who will be removed from the lobby, as he is not racing in Group A this week. I'll just send him a message rather than kick him.
Is he a Red Mist driver? I'm taking it.
He is, yeah, he is.
So you got the wrong rego week, maybe one more.
Might be the case, yeah. I do seem to recall Corey having a good race in at Willow Springs, but I can't remember what else we've seen from him. So the slot has been vacated. Brent is able to come in now. There we go. So we'll get qualifying underway in a moment. There is going to be a grid place penalty this evening, so the race will be red flagged
After qualifying?
Yep, after qualifying, the race will be red flagged, and Kiwi Raikkonen, who missed all the test starts, will find himself down 2 spots. So we'll have that ready to rock and roll. Give these guys one final warning. We're about to get underway. Everyone's entered. 14 drivers for a 10-minute qualifying session around Spa-Francorchamps, as we've just seen in race 1, the challenge race, set to get underway.
Oh, let me get on track. I'm not going to be able to now. Of course we are, we're there.
So, interestingly, I had a look at the qualifying standards in the challenge race, and we saw a 2:16.8, I think, took pole. Now, what I find interesting about this particular lobby is I can see the top 5 being locked out in the 2:15 range.
So they're really moving.
These guys are really moving. I think if you don't crack into the 15s, you get under that 2:16 marker, you're probably going to be outside the top 5. I've seen 4 or 5 drivers do it tonight, including Corey Hack, who's actually no longer going to be driving here. So he's obviously capable of running with these guys, but there's been some sort of some issue with results in the past for him, perhaps. But I think these guys are more than capable of settling into the 15s, and a lot of them can run 16s all day long in a race stint on the soft tyres. So, and even on the mediums as well, I've seen Captain Muffin doing high 16s on the medium tyre. So with the likes of the usual suspects, Brocky, GDR, Kiwi Raikkonen, Corgi, I think the one to look out for in this one is going to be Muffin. He's not really put himself in the mix with those guys in the past, and his name doesn't really carry the weight that those guys do have when you throw their names around in the Sector 1 community. But Captain Muffin's here to race, and he's really put his name down in the practice session today, and I think he's certainly one to watch for the race here at Spa. We talked about the guys, some guys liking the track, some guys not. It looks like Muffin is really gelling with this track, and I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this race this evening.
Well, as long as Muffin can take the pressure from some drivers behind, if he does get out in front, he'll be certainly on his way to a win.
Crucial point as well, Muffin is currently sitting on the medium tyres, and it might pay to just run through and have a look at what everyone's using. So we've got racing softs on GDR's car, so the ragged edge car there. He's going to be starting the race on the softs, because don't forget, what you start on in qualifying dictates what you start on in the race. Old Wakey on the mediums, Captain Muffin on the mediums, so they're both planning for a slightly slower or more conservative start. Medium tyres for Stickers as well. Ricky Bobby also on the mediums. Soft for Karen. So I don't know if that's an error on his part, because he was late into the lobby, but he is starting on the softs, so he will be looking for a fast start here. Artie Thump on the mediums. Diego on the softs, so going for a little bit of an unconventional strategy. Speedy Tyres dips in on the mediums. Brocky and Kiwi Raikkonen also coming in. Well, Kiwi on the softs actually, so he may have made an error himself too. And it looks like Corgi also started on the softs, so he's coming in and putting a fresh set on for one reason or another. So I think these guys may have made an error on their tyre choice. But either way, GDR's out on his first flying lap, followed closely by Old Wakey. Doesn't look like Wakey's within slipstream range, so he's going to get no benefit down the back straight here. We'll see what sort of representative lap times they set early on.
Well, GDR going to be setting some times a lot, because he stayed out. He'll be the first one to throw in a proper time, followed by Old Wakey. Now, Old Wakey can be really fast when he really puts his head down. A few of the races I was in a season or two ago, he just was there the whole race. You couldn't shake him. He keeps the car nice and clean. Ricky
Yeah, with the
Bobby's
talent that we've seen from young Wakey, it's no surprise that old Wakey's got pace to burn.
well, Ricky Bobby's another one that can just upset the race with an out there strategy. He's very good at the playing the strategy game as opposed to just all out pace. Karen
There's one
in
that crops
fourth.
up every now and then.
Karen sported a bit of a new livery tonight, I think, on the chat this week.
Yeah, an interesting colour scheme on that one. Pink and grey. Or pink and silver. Pink and chrome.
Diego in fifth. Aussie Hampton. The Moff will be happy.
Classic.
Him out on track tonight. Stickers in sixth. So might jump back up, see what TX3 can run for his first flyer.
GDR's about to come through the bus stop for the first time on a flying lap. 2 minutes 10 on the clock. He'll be looking for a 15 to start himself off. And there we go, 15.5. Straight off the bat.
Old Wakey pulls into the pits. So it's going to be Karen.
With 5 minutes left on the clock, there's not a lot of time for these guys to get around a couple more times. I think we'll see potentially GDR come in for a pit stop after the next lap, or this particular lap. This will be his in lap unless he's purple all sectors and put some fresh tyres on, go for one more. But he's setting the bar high early, which is great to see.
Diego pops himself into second.
A 2:16.2, which would have had pole in the challenge by 0.6 of a second, puts him 0.7 off provisional pole. That's absolutely insane, isn't it?
Yeah, some really good lap times from these blokes. Pruski saying the Brent's colour on the Porsche matches his favourite girly beer. Alright, so Stickers is going to be another one to watch. He's certainly picked up some pace going from Challenge to Supercup this season.
Yeah, he's he and the Lightning Motorsport boys have really come to play this season, and like Brent was saying in the last race, it might be their rookie season, but they've really put their foot down when it comes to staking their claim as to what they mean in S1. So it's been really good to see from these guys. So a whole bunch of the guys on track at the moment, pretty much from P4 down, are currently on their first flying lap after pitting at the end of lap 1 here at Spa-Francorchamps. So it'll pay to keep an eye on them. Old Wakey is on an out lap because he's just come into the pit, so it looks like he hasn't actually set a representative lap time just yet.
I'm just on with Brocky at the moment. He hasn't had the best of the start to the season 5, but we know he has the pace to run with the front blokes. So tonight might be the night he can rein them back in. He's in the best media.
Brocky's one of those guys. Brocky's one of those guys that just has reliable pace at all times. We've talked about him setting photocopy laps, but one thing that a lot of people at Sector 1 might not know is Brocky did the Community Series race on Thursday night, just gone. I don't know how much practice he put into it, but I don't imagine it was a whole lot, because it was just a casual race, and he was racing a guy called Noodles, who actually represented the Oceania region at the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup World Finals held last year at the end of the year. So really, really high level of competition, and he out-qualified him by nearly half a second. So, you know, Brocky's got serious talent. There's a reason he's won 6 championships here at Sector 1, and looks like he's played it really right here on his qualifying lap too. He had a bit of a toe from Artie Thump there coming into the final straight. Through the bus stop he comes. What's his first representative lap time going to be? Will we see a 15 from him? I think we will. It's not quite enough to upset GDR, but he does go into the 0.7s.
He's up there. That's within striking distance at least.
Now Muffin is the one I was saying to watch. He's set himself a 16.2 so far. I have seen him dip into the 15s tonight, but he's got a lot of work cut out for him here. I think he's on his last flyer now, potentially.
Lucky down in 6, that's a good spot for Lucky with a probably a 2:16, almost 2:17, so he's a little bit off the pace, but not far. DJ
Check out
Graham.
what's happening down in P13 and P14. The two FSR boys, Kiwi Raikkonen and Corky, they're in a little bit of a slipstream train with each other. They've just finished their final out lap here. Neither of them have yet set a representative lap time. I think they're working together a little bit to see if they can unseat GDR at the very, very top of the tree.
Now, if I'm correct, GDR set that time on mediums?
It was no, it was on softs.
It was on softs?
Yeah, and he's going to be starting the race on softs as well. So he's, I think he's coming around to start a final flying lap if he makes it around. But he's going to be putting it fine here, I think. So he's going to be very careful. But I think, yeah, the ones to watch right now.
Look at the split times. There's 0.6 up on GDR as we speak. Might just jump back up to Brocky because he's ahead of him.
He is ahead of them on track. He's got Artie Thump in front of him as well. I think he might be on a slow lap though because he was ahead of Artie when he finished his last lap, and it doesn't. And look, he's now behind Artie, so I think he may have made a mistake. Yeah, 1.4 seconds off his time. So the guys to watch: Kiwi and Corgi, and Kiwi is in the draft of Corgi in front as well. And we all know how quick Corgi can be. Imagine driving around the track behind him with the benefit of the slipstream. It's going to be an absolutely monster lap from Kiwi Raikkonen here, I think.
Alright, so we're just on with TX3. We'll see if he can improve.
So this is an outlet for GDR, so he's starting his final flying lap now with 14 seconds left on the clock. So he's timed this just about to perfection. Old Wakey sets a faster time, goes up to P9. Ricky Bobby up to P5 as well.
Rocky doesn't go any better.
Artie's up to P3. That's a fantastic lap from him, and he's got one more lap in him as well. Captain Muffin does not improve, so Captain Muffin is only good enough for 5th here with a 16.2. Diego barely 17 milliseconds faster, and then a 10th up to Artie Thump, who's 0.6 behind GDR. So GDR on a flying lap, Brocky on a flying lap, Artie still on a flying lap, and as well, coming through the bus stop now, the two FSR boys, Corgi and Kiwi, currently sitting P13 and P14, and they're all on top of each other here. They're actually running into the back of each other. This might be a concern for them, but that's going to be a 15.1 for Kiwi Raikkonen and a 15.4 for Corgi as well. They lock out the front row provisionally, so GDR is going to have a serious answer for them, and on the worn tyres that he's on, I don't think he will. No, sorry. No, he did start this this lap with a lack of wear, so he's in a good spot here, actually. He does have this one last chance to unseat them. Rocky too, but he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him.
Well, he's going to have to put in a really good lap. I mean, Raikkonen and Corgi were 0.6 up at one stage, and they've just made maybe a little mistake somewhere and only able to get the tiniest of margins ahead. So if TX3's got his head where he needs to be, this could be achieved.
GDR's on it. He's coming through the final sector split now. Brocky is out of this. He's on seriously worn tyres, and he has traffic in front of them. 1/10 off his best for GDR. He needs to really give it everything in this last sector. I hope he lost some time last time he was coming through, because he's going to need to find a whole lot here if he wants to get up there. He's only got 12 milliseconds to Corgi in front of him. 1/100th of a second between them as they come through Blanchimont. Up towards the bus stop chicane. How late does he brake here? Just before the 100-metre board. Shucks it in, riding up on the curb. Rotates the car very nicely there, getting a bit of a slide on too on the exit. Drives to the line. It's not quite going to be enough there. Brocky coming through the bus stop now too. A couple of guys coming across the line. See if any times pop up. Diego improves. Artie Thump with a penalty.
Brent.
Nothing to be done.
Diego sets a 2:16.1. Artie Thump doesn't go any better. I think that's us.
Wow. Big qualifying session, and the slipstream clearly being playing the biggest part in that qualifying session as well. That is some fantastic teamwork from the two FSR boys. Not on the same team within Sector 1, of course, Blacklight versus Dadson, but they looking really good here. Teamwork really, really making the dream work for these two.
Well, that just puts you to show TX3 has put down a killer lap time, and he was like first lap out too, or first or second lap out. He set that, so
it was, yeah. It was his first flying lap.
So they're all on pace now. It's going to be a really good race, this one. Top drivers, first to fourth. Artie Thump doing a really good job to get up to fifth. So we're going to have to reset the grid, aren't we?
Yep, red flag for these guys.
Yeah, Womble's got it right. The quality times are disgusting. It's kind of like you can practice all week, and these guys just trump you. They come out and they only drive the track for the day.
I was pretty close on my prediction. The top 3 were all down in the 15s, but it wasn't quite top 5. But I think Brocky didn't quite live up to his full potential in that one, to be completely honest. Although, actually, no, sorry, Brocky was in the 15s. Never mind. I'll take that back. So the first driver not in the 15s was Artie Thump, and it was a 16 flat, and that was good enough for 5th place.
And then I believe who we got there? Speedy Tyres with the 216.3. 216.1 by Diego, so he's just been pipped by Artie Thump. Then it went to Speedy Tyres.
Yeah, and Muffin down in P7 after all that as well. He was very close to Diego there, but couldn't quite pull out the lap he really should have been getting for himself. I think he really could have got himself P5 there with the pace he was showing in practice, but couldn't quite put it together when push came to shove. And of course, I think part of the problem with it for a lot of these guys is they had to change from their mediums to their softs at the beginning of the quali session. And actually, because it's such a long lap, nearly 2.5 minutes, it really puts you out of sick. You only get enough chance for 1, maybe 2 flying laps.
Good doctor. He'll be happy with Corgi being up the front there. So let's not forget, once this tonight goes through, we will be joining us next Sunday night for Group B. Same track, same time. We'll do it all again. And the Group B's try and sharp the Group A's. And they've got some really good lap times to look forward to. They've really got to put some pace on if they want to keep up with these boys. But 2:15s and 2:15.1s are just ridiculous.
Yeah, and of course that 15.1 was slipstream assisted very much so, which is quite meaningful around this track. He started the perfect distance behind his partner and pulled up a whole lot of time on the Kemmel Straight, and then again coming up to Blanchimont as well. So, that's worth nearly half a second all on its own, and just a fantastic lap from Corgi to lead him through as well. He was completely unassisted, and he managed to set himself a time that was still better than GDR's there as well. So fantastic stuff from him. But of course, crucially, Kiwi Raikkonen gets a 2-place penalty because he missed the test starts. So he's actually going to find himself down in P3, I think. So we'll have a look, set the grid now.
So that'll put TX3 on the front row with Corgi, and that's going to be one hell of a drag race to the first corner.
Yeah, and we saw an incident, I think, in the first race at La Source, and it shows that it can really be a treacherous place. So you got to be very careful here. I think if anyone's going to be a clean run through La Source, it's probably going to be these guys. But it's a tough corner to get through when you're all bunched up off a grid start like that. So we'll see what happens. I think a notable finishing position in that qualifying session is Artie Thump there, P5 for him. It's probably one of the highest positions we've seen him in this season. So really good stuff from him there. Diego as well, right behind him in P6. Great stuff from him too.
And the one you mentioned as well,
Captain Muffin, yep, P7. He's honestly, I think he could have done a little bit better considering his practice times that he did, but he's got himself into a position just above the mid pack, so he should be able to make something work if he's got his head on straight.
all right, not long to go. We were waiting for luck goes my way to enter, but he's in. He has a bit of a pit stop. Alright, what's Brent got? Brent doing the RD work for the challenge boys. He's jumping in. He set a pretty good time for quali. So can he make the race run work better?
Alrighty, the grid is set. The drivers are ready. We're ready to get this underway. 40 minutes around Spa-Francorchamps for our Group A Supercup drivers this evening. This is what you've all been waiting for. This is the big dogs. There's no getting around that fact. The best in Sector 1 are on track right now.
Alright. We will jump into 5th position as soon as they give us the chance.
So Kiwi, unfortunately, after that fantastic pole lap to get himself a 15.1, gets set back to 3rd on the grid. Starting behind GDR and Corgi on the front row. The lights are on, the revs are up, everyone's tense, they're ready to rock and roll. That's a green light, the drivers are away, we're racing here at Spa-Francorchamps. A clean start from most. Karen gets a good start at the back as well, but up the front, GDR looking to the outside, trying to go around all the way around Corgi there. Kiwi looking to push his teammate through here, but they're clean through. No incidents to report. A little bit of contact, but there's nothing wrong with that. Brocky within slipstream range of the top 3, but they're pulling away a little bit. It's going to be side by side. Upper Rouge ready on no. Corgi yields to GDR, and GDR takes the lead of the race away from the FSR driver here. So the 2 that locked out the front row in qualifying fall down to 2nd and 3rd, and GDR is making a meal of this race for them. On the soft tyres, Corgi on the soft tyres as well here, looks to the outside of GDR through the chicane. He's got the inside for the left-hander, and he gets the position back. Bit of wiper action going on for you there as well.
Nice and clean so far.
So important to note for these drivers on track now that we've settled into a rhythm a little bit. Kiwi, GDR and Corgi are all on the soft tyre. Brocky is on the medium, so he's currently the best seated driver on track at the moment. He's the first of the medium runners, and he's right on the back of the soft drivers.
Hardy Thumb holds on to his 5th place.
He's done well here. He leads Diego, who is also on the soft tyres, just like the 3 up the front. So Artie and Brocky are in a great position here, but they need to stick with the guys around them, and Artie cannot afford to let Diego through. But converse to that, Diego cannot mess around. He needs to get by Artie as fast as he can. He also doesn't necessarily know that Artie's on that on that medium tyre rather. He looks to the inside at Stavilo, can't quite get the move done, has to back out of it. The top 3 are skipping away though. Brocky's now 8/10 behind. GDR follows Corgi, leads Kiwi Raikkonen, the top 3 skipping away from the 6-time champion here at Spa-Francorchamps onto the back straight towards Blanchimont. This is a flat corner in this car, especially on soft tyres. You can afford to go through there without a lift, but a couple of guys lifting because of the slipstream, increasing the speed through there. Into the bus stop chicane for the first time of asking, closing right up onto the back of each other here up the front. And that's the end of lap 1 here in the Supercup A round. A second back to Brocky now. They're really starting to put the hammer down.
So this plays mind games too with you when you're during the race, and the people you know you can hang with are just pulling away because they're all in a slipstream, gaining momentum themselves. You just can't get there. Hopefully Brocky can just keep his foot down and just maybe catch back up to him. A couple of mistakes they might make up the front.
I reckon if there's anyone on track right now who has the race IQ to figure out that the drivers around you are on which tyre, he's probably figured out by now that the guys in front, there's a penalty actually being burned by Corgi. It was a 1-second penalty as well. That's really hurt him. He's going to drop all the way back down to where Brocky is. He's absolutely lost the 2 up the front. There we go. He's going to have a lot of work to do. So they might be on the radio now, Corgi and Blacklight to Kiwi Raikkonen ahead. Get side by side with GDR, bring him back to us. We need him back because this is serious disaster for Corgi. If there's anyone you don't want to have clear air around a track like this, it's GDR.
Yeah, that's right. Once he gets into the groove of just the consistent laps, he can just put down lap after lap, and they're all fast.
This is Christmas come early as well for Brocky down in P4 here. He's now got the slipstream of Corgi. That's a free tow around the track for a lap from a soft tyre runner. That's really going to help him out and bring him a little bit closer to these guys, because realistically, if everyone ran perfect laps for the first 5 laps, those soft runners would be 5, 6 or even 7 seconds ahead of Brocky on the mediums. But because Corgi's dropped back here, he's giving a little bit of extra time to Brocky and allowing him to increase his pace on those medium tyres where he really shouldn't. So that's a huge mistake from Corgi to get that penalty. I don't know what it was for, but it was absolutely huge and race changing.
Diego's been able to stick with Brocky here. He's even in the tow as well, so it could cause some bit of grief for Brocky.
Yeah, and he is on the soft tyres as well. Don't forget Diego's on the soft tyres while Brocky's on the medium, so he does have that tyre advantage. This is a huge moment for Diego. He needs to get by him. It's possible that he doesn't realise that Brocky is
Oh, he's cut
on
that
the
corner
medium
tight.
tyres. You can definitely take a lot of that chicane there. I think Diego's going to get away with that, but he's really got to think about what he's doing here. He's doing a big fuel save though, very early shift, so he might be looking to get himself an advantage later on in the race.
Hardy Thump and Captain Muffin seem to be working together at the moment. Then we jump back down to Ricky Bobby, who's just off the pace, but he's got stickers and speedy tyres, the two Lightning boys right behind him.
Ricky Bobby's doing a very good job of leading this pack, and Stickers clearly respects him enough to push him along here. There's a little bit of a bump draft along down towards Rouge and Radion here from the Lightning Motorsport driver, and there you go, another push there as they get onto the back straight. So great leading from Ricky Bobby and good teamwork from Stickers, really thinking about the long game, trying to catch them up to the guys in front.
Those
Here we
Stickers
go,
go to the
Stickers looks for the
inside.
inside, and he's got a little bit of a bump there from Speedy Tyres behind, so his teammate pushing him through here. A little bit of contact with Ricky Bobby as well, and Karen comes through. A little bit of a tap on the rear bumper of Speedy Tyres.
Karen gets through, he gets past DJ Brain. Puts himself up to 10th. Sorry,
That's a
11th.
big gain. That's a big gain for Karen there. He's going to need that for his confidence, but DJ Brain's going to look up the inside again. He's going to have the inside for this corner, but that quickly becomes the outside of Jackie X corner here, the left-hander, as Karen goes through again and reclaims that position, still with the slipstream of Speedy in front, crucially.
Just seen a change for the lead as well. TX3's made a mistake. There's a big
Oh, that's a big mistake there from him.
1.7 gap to the lead.
So now GDR's going to have to start thinking about working together with Corgi to catch his teammate Kiwi. And that's, if there's one thing I know about GDR, he likes to be that one on his own, that one leading the way, and not, you know, relying on anyone else to help him get to where he wants to get. But it may be a point now where he has to start thinking about working together with the driver behind him to catch up to Kiwi, because we know Kiwi's a quick operator. He said that fastest time in the qualifying session, and there's Corgi now tapping the rear bumper of GDR, giving him a bit of a hurry up, but it is going to help him get a bit closer. The gap coming down slightly. Is he going to go for a move now into the bus stop? Looks like he pulls out early and allows GDR to continue on.
Diego gets around Brocky.
That's huge for Diego. He must have realised that he was on the medium tyres there, so that's a fantastic position gain. He's actually really, really close to the top three as well, so this is a good spot for Diego to be in.
Alright, I've just seen Stickers back there. 8th spot. Something's going on here, because who were they battling with before? Ricky Bobby's dropped a few spots.
Ricky Bobby was leading the way. Ricky Bobby's dropped back, so there was a lot of contact there when Stickers went through, and it looks like Karen's taken advantage of all the action and got himself up to P9 here, so that's a fantastic gain from the Deeds driver. But he needs to get within range of Stickers in front, because Stickers is looking very quick at the moment, and he could be vital in catching this group up to the next group in front. Now the thing that could creep in here that might be a bit of an issue for these guys from 8th down is that there's a big gap from them to Hardy Thump up in front. And, you know, when you're the driver in 8th place, you see that all these drivers are a long way ahead of you. You suddenly think, oh, the top 7 must all be on softs, and that's why they're so much further ahead of me. Now, if that does start creeping in for these guys, that could be a real issue, because when the drivers in front come into the pits, a lot of them are on the medium. So if they do see that medium graphic when they come into the pits from back here in 8th place, it might seriously throw them and throw a little bit of a mental spanner in the works, as it were.
So Corgi's got around GDR. We missed it, but he's got his wipers going, so maybe there's a little bit of rain on the track. But
it is cloudy, so it is looking like it. You can understand why he's afraid of the wet. But speaking of the wet, this combination, the Porsche around Spa, has actually been the daily race combination for the last week here, but it is in full wet conditions. So it's if any of the guys here have been doing that race during the rain, they might accidentally default back to their rain brake markers and start braking a little bit early for some of these corners.
I was just about to mention, TX3 was saying to me earlier in the week that this is one of the favourite tracks of Corgi's, and not one of his favourite tracks, so they're both doing really good to be where they are, so they're both not too bad at this track altogether, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, I think when it comes to GDR, if he says he doesn't like a track, he's still going to be better than most other drivers in the world there, whether he likes it or not. So, you know, and clearly showing that here, keeping up with Corgi, who loves this track, and Kiwi, obviously, who's shown such great pace this evening. But These three are the ones to watch at the moment. Brocky as well, of course, he is on the medium, so don't forget about him as we come towards the end of the race. He's still very close to Diego here, less than a second behind him. So, you know, Brocky's playing the strategy game here, and it could really benefit him later on. Just to update everyone on where our fuel numbers stand. Currently, the top three are all matched for fuel. They're on exactly the same amount, just between half and a quarter, 3/4 of a tank. So I'd say, what's that? 5/8 of a tank. If we want to get really specific, 2/3, let's call it. Diego has actually outsaved all of them. He's on just about 3/4 now as we come into this 5th lap. And then Brocky is also on the same amount of fuel as the guys out front as well. So he's not doing any major gains in the fuel saving department as Diego is, but that soft tyre will really benefit Brocky at the end of the race. He'll get into cyborg mode, as we've seen him do so many times before, photocopy those laps and absolutely blow these guys away potentially. So keep an eye on that. I think we might see these guys pitting in about lap 9 to get off their soft tyres and get onto the mediums. But they're starting to look pretty ragged at the moment. Very similar tyre wear for all the guys at the front. GDR's looking the worst for wear though.
Yeah, well, we missed a move there from GDR back around Corgi, so they're not working together so well.
No, and I think that's the thing about GDR. Like I say, he has full faith in himself that he's fast enough to catch just about anyone. But it might have been beneficial, as you see Corgi doing there, to bump draft up the straight as opposed to going for a move, and then once you actually catch up to Kiwi Raikkonen, which they are doing, the gap's now down to under 9/10, so they're putting some serious pace down here. But you really want to wait until you're close enough to battle for that first position before you start overtaking the guys around you.
Yeah, they're just edging on slipstream time now, and then it's only a matter of time for them to be all together.
There's a solid exit there from GDR. If he burns enough fuel coming up these next 2 straights, he'll probably get within range of Kiwi. No major fuel saving going on for any of these guys here.
They just know how to put consistent lap times down, don't they?
And there it is too. GDR's within that range now. Less than 7/10 down the Kemmel straight here. He's going to get some massive benefits from the driver in front.
And it'll bring Corgi with him because Corgi's right behind him.
And that was huge as well. There was an error there from Kiwi through Rouge and Radion. He was forced to lift there, so there's already a massive amount of overspeed for GDR here as he catches him down the straight. Will he look to the inside for the chicane at the end of the straight? No, he backs off early.
All working together. Where's Diego? He's dropped off now. It's now 4.5 seconds to Corgi. Although Brocky's starting to come in strong. Captain
Brock's
Muffin
looking
up to
very
6th.
solid. Yep, Muffin was one of those consistent guys. I know he can put good laps in all day long, so I think he's definitely in a good spot here. Artie Thump though is still putting the pressure on him though. They're right behind Brocky though, so they're definitely in a good position. 2 seconds is the gap between them, or just about. So, you know, if Brocky's going to put himself in the battle for the lead here, I think Captain Muffin and Artie Thump might be able to challenge for the podium based on where they're currently sitting.
Yeah, field's starting to spread out in the mid-pack. And then we got a bit of a bunch up going down from about 9th onwards, no, 10th onwards.
Yeah, there's a good pack back here. A couple of guys. Lucky is being very closely tailed by Ricky Bobby here, but Ricky Bobby playing the safe game, just sitting behind. He's got a lot more fuel than Lucky does in front of him, so he's obviously been doing a little bit of fuel saving. Speedy's got even less up there.
It's been unusual to see Speedy this far back. He's one of the drivers as well that you can really rely on to be up the front.
Yeah,
maybe not the track for him.
Yeah, Speedy, I've seen him doing quite a lot of practice actually. He was practicing, you know, even a couple of weeks ago, doing laps of the track. I actually joined him for a little bit just to see what was going on, but clearly not gelling with the track, and perhaps the car combination here as well is hurting him a little bit, but he did do his bit for his team a little bit earlier. He helped Stickers get through ahead of Ricky Bobby when he was going for the move, gave him a little bit of a bump draft through to help out his teammates, so he's done what he needed to do. He's still in with a shout at this race. Don't forget, of course, Karen in P9 is actually on the soft tyres here, so he's a little bit out of sync with these guys because everyone around him is actually on the mediums, so it's going to make for a very interesting race come the second stint here. This is the beauty of the compulsory double compound race here that we've introduced at Sector 1 this season. The soft and the medium are both required for these drivers We get a whole bunch of guys starting on the soft tyres. Speaking of the guys on the soft tyres, you look up the front now, Corgi's just got by GDR again, so the FSR guys are now 1 and 2 here at Spa-Francorchamps as they exit Les Combes.
Now Corgi and TX3 are first and second in the championship too, so there's going to be no love lost here come the end of the race.
And head through the right, down through the left of Jackie X corner towards Puon. No opportunity to go for a move for GDR. GDR's actually seriously worn out his front tyres here. He's at a serious disadvantage to the two drivers in front of him. I think if there's one thing about GDR that we know for a fact is that he is, or if there's one thing that he's not, that's a conservative driver. GDR likes to give it everything from start to finish, and sometimes that does come back to hurt him a little bit when it comes to his tyre wear and his fuel. So he's currently got the worst car out of the three in the front. The fuel's more or less the same, but the tyres are seriously starting to hurt him, and we're starting to see that in the pace of Corgi and Kiwi in front of him here.
Diego still holding on to 4th, keeping that 5-second gap. Rocky keeping the same gap to probably around that 1.3 mark back from Diego.
Well, we're now at the point now that the soft tyres are so worn out that the mediums are starting to equalise because they've got such a longer life. So I think we might see a couple of guys coming for pit stops now, particularly GDR, to go for an undercut on the two in front of him. It could seriously benefit him here. So we'll have a look at them coming through the bus stop. Into the pits goes none of them. Okay, so it looked like Corgi was just on trajectory to head in there, but with 24 minutes left on the clock, no one on the soft tyres entering the pits there, and I think GDR stands a serious chance of dropping out of the tow this lap.
All different entry lines to the first corner there.
Yep, it's a really interesting hairpin, that one. A little bit sideways there from Diego on exit as well, down in P4. Brocky just about a second behind. If he can get a whiff of slipstream for the next lap or two, that could seriously help his chances here with his medium stint being the first stint versus the soft runners in front of him. The leader of the mediums is Brocky down in P5, our 6-time champion, looking for an opportunity now to get within range of Diego in front. When he puts on those soft tyres in a couple of laps' time, I think we're going to see a whole different sidewalk here at Spa.
Big drive from Diego too. He always a consistent driver, but to be in the top 4 at the moment during the midpoint of the race, I think he's going to be happy with it.
He's done well, but those tyres are seriously starting to hurt him. They're in even worse condition than GDR's in front, so it's about time that these guys started thinking about pitting in. Lap 8 now on these tyres with a 6 times tyre multiplier on the tyre wear today for our drivers here at Spa. He's going to be in a world of hurt right now. You can see him going wide on a couple of apexes over the course of this lap.
Looks as though Artie Thump just keeping in the rear vision mirror of Captain Muffin, so not letting him get too far away. They're about the only two on the track at the moment that are half close, apart from
just
the front 3.
Applying a bit of pressure there is Artie Thump, and he has done a little bit of a fuel save over Captain Muffin in front, as well as tyres. He's looking pretty good in that regard. Muffin's worn through his tyres as well, so I think Artie's in a pretty good spot here. He might be able to overcut Muffin if he goes a little bit longer, but with then transitioning from the mediums to the softs, the fresh softs are going to be a lot faster than the worn mediums. So don't forget, of course, these guys will have to fuel up on their pit stop. We're very rapidly approaching the halfway mark now. The top 3 heading through past the pit entry. GDR dips into the pits now on the end of lap 8. So the first to blink, GDR with 39% on board. He's a little bit more on board the 2 cars in front, although he's quite evenly matched with Kiwi here. And now this is where it matters for the 2 drivers in front. GDR was most certainly within undercut range, so I think when these guys pit at the end of the next lap, or perhaps the lap after, not sure what their strategy dictates, they might come out behind GDR here, so this will bear watching.
So the undercut normally works at most tracks, so it'll be interesting to see the difference, because all 3 of these drivers are really tight.
Well, with such a long lap here at Spa, I think the undercut's going to be seriously important here. The wear on those soft tyres that these guys have right now is seriously going to put them at a disadvantage to GDR's medium tyres. Even though the medium tyre is generally seen to be slower than the soft tyre, with the amount of wear that these guys have on them at the moment, they're going to be so much further off the pace than they should be, that GDR is going to set a much faster outlap than the 2 of them. The other thing is, to consider how much fuel went into his car. And GDR was quite good on fuel, similar to the guys in front of him, so I don't think he's going to lose out too much there. It just depends if he overfuels or not, if he wants to push a little bit harder, perhaps.
Jump back down to Speedy. All on his lonesome. So's Ricky Bobby.
Brocky's blinked as well. I think we missed that earlier on. He's now 5.5 seconds behind GDR, but he's on the soft tyres. It was before the halfway mark that he pitted though, so he's gone for a bit of an undercut here. I say a bit of an undercut. It's quite a serious undercut, I think, because he's got more than half the race remaining. And we've seen the guys up the front pitting just about before the halfway mark. Although, to be fair, you do have to consider the fact that he's also on a lighter fuel load than the guys would have started with. So, crucially, he's not going to have as much weight on those tyres, which won't wear them quite as fast.
So it's looking for the moves from Brocky now. He needs to put his head down.
Well, this is where he hits cyborg mode now. We've seen it before. We'll say it again. It's photocopy lap time for this driver. Head down, hammer down, and give it everything until the end of the race here, I think. He is doing a little bit of short shifting, but I think for the most part, he's figured out his fuel numbers. He knows exactly how much to rev the car out at all times. Now, the two drivers up the front, they blink now. 1 lap later than GDR, so let's see how important that undercut is.
Hardy Thump and Captain Muffin go in.
I think we're at the halfway mark now, or just past it. I think everyone's going to blink here.
Sticker stays out.
Keep your eye on GDR here. This is going to be hugely important for where he comes by these guys. It's a long, long pit stop here at Spa-Francorchamps. Now into the pit box. The Kiwi Raikkonen and Corgi, both in the pit box. The tyres are changing.
I tell you what, it's going to be right on the money.
Fuel going into the car for the FSR drivers. Corgi's on the move. Kiwi's on the move.
Oh, I think they're going to pop out just in front.
GDR's coming around La Source now. He's got to be very quick here. He's a long way back from these guys, but he will have a little bit of overspeed coming down the straight. The gap is just under 3.5 seconds. It'll probably be 3 or less by the time they come to the end of the Kemmel Straight. The question now is, who's fueled up more? There's a serious disadvantage for Corgi and Kiwi in terms of fuel. They've got about 25-20% less fuel on board than GDR does, so they might be slightly faster, but they're going to have to save a little bit as they come to the end of this race, and GDR can just go hell for leather from now to the finish.
That's going to be a big problem come the last few laps, because as we've seen in the challenge group, Mr. Bumcrack got the extra lap. It all plays part with your fuel numbers.
Yeah, I think GDR's put himself in the best position now, most certainly. He's done an extra lap on those mediums, but with the length of the stints that the guys have been doing on the softs, these mediums can definitely last all the way to the end now without saving them at all. So I think this is GDR's moment. He's got 2.8 seconds to Kiwi Raikkonen in front. There will be an element of teamwork between the two FSR drivers, but if GDR can put in the laps that he needs to, he's got that opportunity to burn the fuel. He can seriously push the car. He doesn't have to worry about saving anything. He might be able to catch these guys here. And Brocky as well, 4.6 seconds behind GDR now on the soft tyres. He's in a good position as well. This is going to come right down to the final lap, I think, here. This is going to be hugely intense.
Yeah, Brocky definitely has his work cut out, but it's not unachievable. He's towing along, not towing along I should say, but Diego's sticking with him pretty nicely.
Well, yeah, Brocky's done very well there to get by Diego nice and early without any issues. So Brocky's now got the clear air he needs, and he's 4.3 behind GDR, so he's looking a lot faster at the moment. So this is looking really serious for the Cyborg.
All right, so this is going to bring him back to first and second and third, with all the drivers completing their pit stops. There's not much of a gap between Corgi and Raikkonen and GTR, but these two working together out front, they're going to pull away.
Well, if they bump draft each other down the straight there, then GDR is going to have no answer for them, because he's got no slipstream, he's got no teammate behind him pushing him along. You know, it might be all said and done for them, but a little bit of a wide moment there for Kiwi. If Brocky catches up to GDR and they both are on the same wavelength more or less, and they can think about working together, they might be able to catch themselves up to the guys out front, because don't forget that GDR's tyres will equalise with Brocky's very quickly once he catches him. So it's going to be go time once Brocky catches GDR. If he catches GDR, of course, he's got a lot of work to put down.
I tell you what, Raikkonen was really lucky there to not get a penalty running that wide.
Yeah, I think so as well. It might have been a little bit of latency for us. We might have seen him a bit wider than he truly was, but he was off track a little bit there.
Tell you what, Corgi definitely looks like he has this track sorted. He's already pulling a little bit of a gap on Raikkonen.
He does look very comfortable, doesn't he?
TX3 dropping off now. He's 3 seconds behind. Brocky is definitely closing that gap up fast. It's down to 3.8.
Now, GDR could seriously throw a spanner in the works for Brocky here, because he's obviously Brocky's got to get past GDR if he wants to have a crack at the two FSR boys up in front of the field. But I don't think GDR's going to go down without a fight, because GDR will not think, oh, I'll let him through and then I'll let him pull me along back up to the guys up in front. GDR will think, I can stay in front here and I'm going to keep this guy behind me, because he knows he can, he knows he's capable, and he probably knows as well that his tyres will equalise with Brocky and they'll be on a level playing field before long. So I can see them battling it out all the way towards the end and losing touch with Kiwi and Corgi out the front, but there could be a chance that GDR and Brocky work together in the same way that Corgi and Kiwi are and catch them up towards the end of the race.
Well, Brocky seems to be holding that consistent gap. He gets better exits. You can tell by the exits he gets through there 0.3 quicker. But
you can see the wear on his tyres though. They're starting to creep in now.
Yeah.
He's only got a few more laps where he's got that serious pace on tap. And a little bit of an error on the exit of the last source there for Brocky as well. Gets a wheel on the AstroTurf. There's no traction out there, mate. You're not going to be able to get that drive you need on the way out. He's still gaining time on GDR up in front of him, but you know, he's lost a little bit of time there, and he needs every little bit he can get, I
think. So 2 up the front of bump drafting. They're getting a bit of a lead to themselves now. 3.5 seconds back to GDR. GDR's got nothing he can do about it.
It's Team FSR's race to lose here, I think. The Datsun car and the Blacklight car, they're looking absolutely untouchable here at Spa.
I can see a bit of a battle going back there for Captain Muffinati thumping Diego. Not where Diego wants to be. So Diego's had a bit of a dilemma. He was right behind Brocky.
He was, yeah, but he's obviously gone on to the medium tyres for this stint because he started on the softs. Brocky's now on the softs, and Muffin's now on the softs, and Artie's now on the softs. So they've got a massive tyre advantage over the Aussie Hamden car there. So it's only natural that Diego will go backwards. It's just damage limitation at this point. He's got 6 seconds to Lucky behind him. I think he can comfortably hold on to 7th. The question is, can he stay within range of Muffin and Artie in front? Muffin makes an error there on the exit of Puon, gets a wheel on the AstroTurf. They're side by side as they enter the Fania chicane. A little bit wide of the apex there for Muffin. Artie cuts it back. Diego's forced to take to the bollards there, runs straight into him, slows him right up, loses all his run, but he's going to get a nice tow from these guys all the way down towards Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. So Diego's in a good spot here for now, but he can't afford to let the 2 in front of him get away.
Well, with 12 minutes remaining in the race, it's anyone's game still. It's the front 2 probably haven't taken up, but the numbers down through the field, everyone is still chopping and changing.
There's a change of position there. You might want to grab a replay of the transition between first and second there at the bus stop. Kiwi's gone through there side by side as they head down the straight. This is not the teamwork that they would have been hoping for. They cannot afford to battle each other at this point in the race. They've got, 11 and a half minutes left. That's a 6-lap race they've got to finish here. So they really can't afford to be doing this. They've just lost nearly half a second to GDR behind. So this is crucial for their work here at Spa.
Just see now Brocky looking really close to TX3. Down to 2 seconds.
That tyre wear is starting to creep in for Brocky. The gaps are coming down every lap, but just the distance of the gap that it comes down is decreasing every lap. So he's still gaining, but not by quite enough. There's another position change for the lead here. Kiwi Raikkonen versus Corgi. Kiwi goes through, or holds the position rather. They're battling it out. The gloves are off. These guys are battling for track position now. There's no more teamwork to be had between them. They've decided GDR's far enough behind. They're battling it out now.
Well, we know what happens when you battle it out. It's only got to bring TX3 back up to them in the field.
It is, yeah. It's going to be disadvantageous to them, but it looks like one of them's decided, I want this enough to risk that, you know, and take the chance that GDR will catch up. It depends how much they battle now. I think Corgi's been the sensible one all race. He's bump drafted GDR, he's bump drafted Kiwi. So I think now he might be content to sit in second place here and allow Kiwi to hold the lead temporarily. But come the last couple of laps, you know, he will want to go for this lead. But it looks like they're giving it everything now. We'll see what happens as they come to the bus stop.
Well, it could be the fact too that they short fueled. They've done the 10 minutes since their pit stop. They might be just swapping over so the other one gets the bump draft. But they're playing with position, so they're definitely not taking it easy.
No, they're not. They're putting it all on the line now. Looks like Kiwi's going a little bit defensive into the bus stop. Corgi gets off it early, so he's back to teamwork at the forefront of his mind here. The tyres as well. GDR's worn through his tyres a little bit here. Obviously, he did an extra lap on them as well prior to Corgi and Kiwi pitting in. So he's put an extra bit of wear on his tyres, and Corgi's looking very fresh up there on his mediums. But I think it might all be said and done for GDR. Even with the battling, he's still 3 seconds behind these guys.
And he's got Brocky 1.3 seconds behind, so it's not going to take too long for Brocky to get in that slipstream.
I think it might be crunch time for Brocky, and that fighting up the front as well will have helped his chances too. I think it's just about inevitable that he will get within range of GDR, but the question is, can he get past and how quickly?
I'll tell you what, he went a fair way over the curve then. He seemed to have got away with it.
Corgi's got ahead of Kiwi as well for P1 here as they come into Lake Com. They're side by side as they head through. They've gone right, they've gone left. They're still wheel to wheel as they head into the right-hander. Kiwi gets his hips and shoulders out. Corgi is forced to retreat back to second place here. So that's lost them a lot of time there. Down to less than 3 seconds for GDR now. This is huge. They're absolutely pushing it. Both of them want this win.
It's going to be a four-way battle at the end of this race. There's 8.5 minutes left.
There's plenty of time for things to change. This is a 4-lap race left to go. These guys have 4 laps left here.
Have the two front runners got enough fuel to make it to the end?
I think they do. They've got themselves considerably less than GDR, but not much less than Brocky. If they push too hard, I think they might be touch and go. But GDR is well and truly good. He's got nearly half a tank. Brocky's nearly got half a tank. Corgi and Kiwi Raikkonen have got, it's coming down towards a quarter tank, but I don't think it's too risky just yet. A bit of a mistake there from Corgi as they head through Stavlo. Is he going to fall out of draft range? Just about, not quite. He's still within.
Gap out to 2.7 now, back out I should say to TX3. Rocky is right there, he's under the second.
Well, GDR will be stoked that the gap is anything less than 3 seconds because it's given him that opportunity. But Brocky, his laps are starting to stagnate now. He's run a 2:16.7 on his last lap after running 0.1s for the last 3 prior. Let's see what his lap time is here. He's just about within range of GDR, but those tyres are seriously worn out now. They're starting to equalise with GDR. That's a 17-point flat. His first lap in the 17s this stint. He's lost all his pace. This is it for Brocky. His tyres are equalising with the mediums. He doesn't have that advantage anymore. 0.8 now between him and GDR.
So he needs that slipstream.
He's going to, and I don't think he's going to have that chance to catch Corgi and Kiwi unless they battle it out again down the Camel Straight. Kiwi weaves to the left-hand side, tries to break the slipstream to his teammate, looks to the inside now, goes defensive, forces Corgi to the outside. Corgi's got his nose in front, there's significant overlap there. Kiwi's going to hold to the inside, he's going to make the move work still. They're side by side again as they go through Lake Com for the second time here at Spa. And Kiwi gets the position back, holds it. Masterful defensive driving there from Kiwi, but you do question as they head side by side to the next left-hander, right-hander as well. Corgi up the inside, he's got the position done. Gets through ahead of his teammate Kiwi Raikkonen.
Speedy tyres, got pulled in the fastest lap with a 15.5.
That's fantastic. That's just about good enough for pole here as well. Great drive from Speedy tyres there.
I can see Dadson on the radio, this is no time to play teammates, get around him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had Lucas in the chat as well. Good doc. Think of the championship. Think of the championship. I think they are thinking of the championship. They're thinking they want to win here. GDR now 2.6 seconds behind. Brocky is within slipstream range of GDR. It's a matter of time as to whether he goes for a move now or goes for a move on the Camel Straight. Let's see what he does here.
You just see the mediums have that better exit already, so Brocky's really struggling to stay in the slipstream here.
He does have that slipstream though, and that's going to mean everything coming into the bus stop. You can guarantee GDR is going to go defensive. Corgi and Kiwi on top of each other as well. Kiwi looking to the outside, backs off early. GDR's got an attack from Brocky coming through, up the inside into the bus stop chicane. Does he go too deep? He does go a little bit too deep. There's a bit of contact on the way through, but that's just elbows out. Good racing there from Brocky and GDR. Through he goes into P3 there. Does GDR have an answer?
I don't think he'll be giving up, that's for sure.
Definitely not. They're so equal at this point, and you can tell that Brocky's starting to miscalculate the grip of his tyres there as he went a little bit too deep at the bus stop chicane. GDR's got the toe all the way down the Camel Straight here after they get through Rouge and Radion now, so he's most definitely going to go for a move as they come up to Lake On. Kiwi and Corgi the same. They're well on top of each other here. Where does Kiwi go? Corgi defends to the inside. Kiwi looks to the outside. He's got his nose ahead. Corgi might not even have an overlap coming in. He has to back out early. Easily done by Corgi there, pushing a little bit further down the straight.
Bit of a bump there from TX3. Just pushing Brocky along the straight.
Gave him a bump drive, okay. Now that's very interesting. I think he might see him now as his golden ticket here. 3 seconds to Corgi though for Brocky, so he's not particularly close. 2 laps to go here.
It is coming down though. And we might do a bit of a run through the field now while we've sorting ourselves out. So Captain Muffin staying in 5th. He's done really well to get back up there. Hardy Thump started in 6th, I think, so he's probably happy with still to be in 6th. Diego in 7th.
Diego's done well to hold 7th on the medium tyres there. He's had a great medium stint.
Stickers. He'll be loving this. Up in the top 10 for the Supercup A's. Luck goes my way. Lucky.
Crucially, 2 Lightning Motorsport cars in the top 10 here. Speedy and Stickers.
Speedy in 10th. Old Wakey in 11th. Ricky Bobby down in 12th. Ricky Bobby's one of the ones I thought might have had the strategy for a bit of a upset, but obviously not working. DJ Brain down in 13th.
As we head back up the field now, by the way, there's a penalty for Corgi. This could change everything. This might bring him back into Brocky's clutches.
Oh, 0.42.
It was 0.5. It burnt itself a little bit on the way through the bus stop. He's burnt it now on the way through to La Source on the pit straight. Gap now down to 2.5 seconds. It was a good burn there from Corgi. He lost minimal time there, and he's still almost within range of Kiwi, but I think Kiwi might have this one sewn up now. 2 laps to go for these guys.
They're going to go to the extra lap, I believe. Captain Muffin. Artie Thump, Diego, they're all going to get that extra lap.
I think Stickers might be the first of the early finishes here, but it will be touch and go for him and Lucky here. Oh, we've had an incident there for Ricky Bobby there. He's just fallen back a lot along the second straight here, leading up to Eau Rouge and Radion. I don't know what happened there. He may have spun it on the exit of La Source.
I don't think there's any point playing back. I took too long to get to him. But Karen running last, he was definitely not going to be happy with that. DJ Brain and Old Wakey duking it out a little bit.
GDR's lost touch with Brocky here now. It's a second gap between them. Brocky's 2.8 behind Corgi now, who's lost the toe of Kiwi in front of him. I don't know how this is going to play out. They might end up finishing as they are, you know.
Well, when you've worn out your mediums, you've got nothing left.
Well, those softs on Brocky's car are looking very second-hand right now. That left front has taken an absolute beating. I think he's just about comfortably going to hold out for third place here. The question is, can he get himself up to P2? But look at the pace difference now. Corgi's mediums are really coming into their own now. And on the light now for Kiwi and Corgi, the fuel light, Brocky's got a little over 10% left, so he's not quite on the light yet. And GDR's got, well, he's got 15% what it looks like in his tank at the moment, so he's good for fuel. Two up the front might be a little bit touch and go. They may not have accounted for this extra lap here, but generally we see these guys doing pretty well when it comes to strategy, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see them both come to the end with fuel in the tank. If either of them's going to run out, it's going to be Corgi though. He's got that little bit less.
Stickers will get through. Speedy's going to get through.
Lucky gets through as well. Old Wakey the first to finish. P11, so the top 10 continue on. Old Wakey judged his fuel perfectly as well. He did not have any left there. He's on 1%.
Alright, back up the front. I think this is going to be the finishing order. Looks like Brocky's backed off a little bit. So 3.5 seconds now to Brocky to Corgi.
Top three are all on the fuel light now. GDR's the only one not to be. It looks like he's overfueled a little bit here. But I think Corgi's going to probably ease off in a little bit because he's really running it low on fuel now. Brocky's in a good spot for fuel. He's got plenty to make it to the end if this is his last lap, which it is. The two up the front though, I really don't know. If they make it to the bus stop, they'll probably be okay, but if they don't, it could be a serious problem for them.
You wouldn't want to lead the race that whole time and then just not make it to the end due to fuel, so fingers crossed for them.
This is getting very close for these two, and they're just about to come up to a zone where they're going to use a whole lot of fuel coming down towards Blanchimont. That fuel's looking very low for both of them. You count on Brocky to be safe. GDR's just hit the light, but he's all good to the end. 1.7 to Brocky, 3.7 to Corgi. Even if they run out, it's going to be very difficult for Brocky to catch them. Corgi's about to run out. He's got about 1% of fuel left. He must be switching to fuel map 6 by now, surely.
Well, it's been
so close for him.
It's been a big race for the Bacchus boys and the Datsun Racing because they're going to take this one out.
0% for Corgi on board, 1% still for Kiwi. I think Corgi might struggle to exit here.
Oh, he's going to get there though.
Oh, there we go. He's lost it, but he just had enough to get himself to the end. Brocky crosses the line for P3. A great drive from the two FSR drivers. GDR comes home P4. Artie Thump with a fantastic P5 takes over from Captain Muffin. Wow. That was not something we expected to see. We missed that overtake on the last lap. Diego with P7, 2 seconds back to Stickers. Speedy Tyres P9 and Lucky in P10. So the two Lightning Motorsport cars, P8 and 9. That's still a great result for them, I think. Fantastic stuff.
Lucky rolls over the line in P10. Well, it was a race we thought it would be, although towards the end of the race, the Bacchus and the black light cars just kind of took away with it. Well done, Brocky, to be able to get his car back up to within striking distance. Didn't quite have it towards the end of the race, but he'll be happy with that race going off his start to the season.
He put in a very good final stint there, did Brocky. He did what he needed to do. It was just the teamwork of the two FSR drivers was just too much, and I don't know, is there a rule against cross-team teamwork in Sector 1? Because that's what we're seeing from these guys.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is something like that, but what do you do?
No, definitely not. So, on another level, Kiwi and Corgi, teamwork making it work for them.
And a big drive as well too from TX3. We can't say he didn't drive. He was with them the whole race.
No, of course he did very well. I think it was just the tyre wear and the fuel that came back to bite him a little bit. So, you know, he put in some great laps. I think he had the fastest lap at one point, and he clearly had great pace, setting that first provisional pole lap in qualifying of a 15.7 on a massive load of fuel that was only beaten by Kiwi and Corgi with a slipstream train. So, you know, it's clear that GDR was one of the fastest guys on track tonight.
Well, we'll just go over the grid just for stewarding purposes, I'll put it down to. But rounding out the race tonight, we have Kiwi Räikkönen in first position, Corgi in second, Brocky for third, TX3 in fourth, Artie Thump just gets around Muffin for fifth, Muffin for sixth, Diego seventh, Stickers eighth, Speedy Tyres in ninth, Lucky for 10th, Old Wakey for 11th, DJ Brain for 12th, Ricky Bobby for 13th, and Karen for 14th, with the fastest lap on lap 13 going to Speedy Tyres with a 2:15.5.
Great work from Speedy there. So that's an extra point for the Lightning Motorsport guys as well. So pretty huge for them.
Driver of the day, I'd probably go down to Brocky or...
Oh, I'd be tempted to give it to Artie Thump, to be honest.
I was just about to say Artie Thump. Cause,
that was a solid result from him. Might be one of the best results we've seen from him in Sector 1 history.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a hard racer to race against as well. He never gives up. So
definitely. He played the strategy game too. He sat behind Muffin and saved his car a little bit towards the end and that sort of thing. And to finish behind only the 4 biggest names to ever be in Sector 1 is, that's a massive achievement, I think.
That's right. Good Doctors just put on their Corgi will stretch the championship lead. It was tight. Well, I think they were even on points, to believe it or not, going into this round. So
it would have been GDR and Corgi up the front, wouldn't it?
Yep.
On points. I think Morgan might have been up there as well after his win at Willow Springs.
That's who we're missing tonight as well, Morgan. He
it's a huge loss for Morgan. He'll be ruining that because I'm sure he's plenty fast around a track like Spa. A lot of low traction zones and chicanes where you get the car a bit slidey, which is just what he likes too. So,
Yeah, well, I can't even remember what I was about to say then. That's not very good, is it?
You live and you learn, eh?
Yeah.
Good note from Killer on the loose there in chat as well. Kiwi and Corgi well played, very, very well played. Indeed, it's to work together like that is one thing, and even with all that battling towards the end for them as well, they did a fantastic job there. So great to see from both of them.
Oh well, we won't stick around too long because it's getting on. But thanks everyone for joining in with us tonight. Everyone in chat. Chat's been going pretty well tonight as well. So thank you all for viewing. Thanks to Brent and yourself, Adam, there for jumping in on the RD duties and chatting with us on stream.
Not a problem, mate. Happy to be here. It was a fantastic race to watch and always a pleasure to RD, the big boys as well. So.
But we will be back next Sunday night for Group B around the same track. So make sure you join in then. Give us a like if you feel the need, if we've done a good job. But yeah.
I think we've done a good job. The drivers did it for us, really, putting on a race like that.
Yeah, I think they did too. But yeah, I think that'll round us out for tonight. So we'll talk to you all Sunday night. See you then.